Keenan, I'm ready to go. Go live, Keenan. Put these back. Keenan, go ahead and bring me up, Keenan. Carol, let's go. All right, folks, we are live right now, folks. So we're in the second hour of Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. We're doing something that is quite unique. We told you about the app Fanbase. We talked about the app, what it does, what it means, and how important it is in terms of a Black-owned social media. But it's not just for Africans. So we're in the second hour for anybody. And so what our goal tonight for the next 2 hours is to raise as much money as we can, because Fanbase is in the middle of a Series A raise. And so we got a lot of great people who are lined up. And you know what? Last night was a perfect example why an app like Fanbase is critically important. If y'all are watching the show, I told you. Last night, Oprah Winfrey and Vice President Kamala Harris held a virtual voter rally, okay? Vice President Kamala Harris had about 297,000 people watching on her YouTube channel. Oprah had about 100,000. Both of them had about 20,000 people who were watching on their Instagram pages. They had about 200,000, I think, that were watching on Twitter. So I told you. Last night, Winfrey has 21 million followers on Facebook. Virtual 1,700 people were watching her live feed on her Facebook page. 4,700 are watching Vice President Kamala Harris's Facebook page. I think she has like 5.5 million. I've got 1.3 million people on my Facebook page, only 230. And so people don't realize these apps are actually suppressing content. You're not actually reaching all of your people, but with Fanbase, that's a different conversation. What I want to do right now is bring in the founder and CEO of Fanbase, Isaac Hayes III, as we kick off this Fanbase Invest-A-athon. So Isaac, let's talk about why you wanted to do this tonight.
I wanted to take the opportunity to converge the Black community and understanding the important place we are right now, the inflection point we are in technology and ownership and culture. Tonight, you're going to hear from some really amazing, knowledgeable people, people who are passionate about their community, investing. You're going to hear from Charlamagne. You're going to hear from Pastor Jamal Bryant. You're going to hear from Will.I.Am. You're going to hear from Tamika Mallory. You're going to hear from Candy Burris. You're going to hear from Ryan Wilson. You're going to hear from, so many people that understand where we are and their different perspectives of why this moment to invest in this startup and elevate this startup to the level of an Instagram and a TikTok by collectively using equity crowdfunding to insert our dollars into a company, use that app, scale that app to multi-billions of dollars, and then see what generational wealth can be created. So that is why I wanted to do this. Roland, first of all, being the person that's allowed us to do this. and giving me the opportunity to do this. I think it's amazingly important. And I want to thank you for allowing me to do this. I also want to earn your leisure. I want to shout out, I want to shout out, I hear something in the background. I want to shout out Earn Your Leisure. I want to shout out Real Life Productions. These are streaming live on Earn Your Leisure's YouTube, your YouTube, Real Life Productions YouTube, the Black Star Network, on Fanbase. We're on LinkedIn. We're on all these channels right now streaming live. So I want the entire world to understand about this and hear this message tonight.
So before we go to you talked about the wealth creation part, I want to go back to the freedom for content creators. And you've done this numerous times where you've walked people through these things. So, but explain to people how these things work on these platforms where people think, oh, like I was discussing earlier, Cardi B has 165 million Instagram followers.
Yeah.
But Cardi B is not reaching 165 million. And what I talked about was, like, literally last night, Facebook deliberately suppresses news and political content, especially Black news political content. And we witnessed it last night. So although Oprah has 21 million followers, only 1,700 were watching on Facebook. And what's crazy is she's got 23,000 followers on YouTube, but had 100,000 people watching live. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, content suppression is a normal practice for tech startups because they have to drive advertising revenue to themselves. So if you have 100 million followers on Instagram per se, you have the visual equivalent of the Super Bowl. That means you have as many people watching you that watch the Super Bowl 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That means if you posted a piece of video content on your page, you could charge $7 million for that real estate. And Instagram and Meta and Facebook know that. So for that very reason, they suppress your content to force advertisers to run ads through them. So why would they let you reach 100 million people when they're about to charge, Coca-Cola or Dunkin' money to reach 100 million people? If you could reach 100 million people, Dunkin' and Coca-Cola would come to pay you. We do not do that at Fanbase. This is an engagement platform. We are a startup that has an ambitious, different view on the future of social media, that everybody is a content creator now. It is not just the people that make the elaborate content. It's the people that actually chat and have audio conversations and leave comments and going back and forth in the DMs and in the tweets. That's all content because they're running ads in between all of that content that you make. So I don't care if you're posting photos of pizza or you're making a mini movie. We are all content creators now in this new space. And so we have to move to the point right now that we get paid for our content, we monetize our content and do that. And so for that reason, I founded Fanbase. And also I wanted to give people the opportunity to invest and own part of the company. So that is why we're doing this tonight.
All right. So first of all, we got guests going to be coming in, but for folks who don't understand, who may have never even heard of Fanbase, as a matter of fact, I was having a conversation today with a media CEO, and I was trying to explain to him that all that Fanbase has to offer. I said it's a combination of Clubhouse, Instagram. I said, you can do all of these things that you have to go to several different apps to do. You can all do it on one with Fanbase.
I mean, well, so we're moving to a point right now where people want the everything app, especially younger people, right? The younger generations of kids, they want the everything app. They want to not have to jump from app to app and figure out, how to monetize their content or how to have fun. And so I wanted to take, and honestly, some of these functionalities existed just based off the sheer fact that the platforms themselves did not respect the creators. Clubhouse did not respect the first million people that joined Clubhouse and allowed them to invest. And so I went to my CTO and said, we're going to build audio chat rooms like Clubhouse and X Spaces in the Fanbase. And we did. And we were the first app, still to this day. We are the only audio chat platform that allows users to be tipped while speaking on stage or in the audience, or in the chat room, speaking on stage or in the chat room. And you can create subscriber audio rooms for you to have those conversations. They do not do that on Clubhouse. They do not do that on X Spaces, and Fanbase automatically allows you to do that. And we have something called branded audio that's amazing and incredible. And you'll see a little bit more about Fanbase tonight. But I want to kick this thing off with a message about what Fanbase is and where we're going. This is our statement in the way that we move moving forward. So I want to start our program with this with our manifesto that really means a lot to what Fanbase is about. Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.
Well, I love that part, you without limits, because there so many of these other apps limit what people are able to do. And so, I see this also as an issue of freedom. Isaac, I think you're on mute.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, this is our goal and our plan and our mission statement of how we plan to do that. Right now, if you're watching, you see this link on the page. You can go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. The minimum to invest in Fanbase is $399, and you're going to learn a lot about that. You're going to learn about equity crowdfunding and investing and stuff like that all through the program. But I want you to have the information. So I don't want this just to be a conversation about just saying, hey, invest in this company. I want you to understand the why this is important and learn a little bit about the information and things that you may or may not know. So, we'll start with that. But I know that we have a special message from the mayor of Atlanta to kick things off. And I wanted to jump right into that. I went with Mayor Andre Dickens.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Andre Dickens, the mayor of Atlanta. It's an honor to be here today to celebrate and uplift one of Atlanta's most innovative and impactful tech startups, Fanbase. As mayor, I've always believed in the future of our city is rooted in the creativity, drive, and entrepreneurship of our people. Atlanta is known as a cultural and economic hub, a city that fosters talent across many industries, and one that champions innovation. Fanbase embodies those very values. It's a homegrown platform that allows creators to connect, share, and thrive in a space where their talents are not only recognized, but rewarded. Fanbase represents the future of social media, where creators are no longer just a part of the audience, but they are stakeholders. This company is giving creators, especially those from underserved communities, a chance to build careers, generate income, and be their own brands without relying on gatekeepers or traditional methods of exposure. I want to commend Isaac Hayes III for his vision and leadership in making Fanbase a powerful tool for creative expression and entrepreneurship. This platform is more than just a business. It's a movement that speaks to the future of digital spaces, giving everyone, whether they're musicians, artists, influencers, or everyday people, the chance to build community, monetize their content, and take command of their futures. Atlanta has always been a city where innovation meets culture, and Fanbase is proving that this combination is not only possible, it's thriving. I'm excited about the future of Fanbase, not just because it's a great idea, but because it has the potential to positively impact so many lives, creators, businesses, and the communities that support them. The success of Fanbase is a win for Atlanta, and I am confident that this platform will continue to lead the way in social media space, both now, here, and globally. Thank you to everyone involved in this journey and to the creators who are using Fanbase to tell their stories and share their gifts with the world. Let's keep pushing forward. The future is bright, and Fanbase is proof of that.
All right, Isaac. So we got a lot of people who are going to be joining us, different celebrities that have invested, other people. But for people, for somebody who's watching, and if they want to invest, obviously information is there. You got a QR code on the screen. You got startengine.com/fanbase. How much do they invest? Still on mute, Isaac.
Huh? Can you hear
There
me?
we go.
Okay.
Now you go. So you got to remember, your mic is on, but you got to hit that mute button on the StreamYard.
Okay, I do. Okay, cool. The minimum to invest is $399. Our goal tonight, I said before, is to really increase, go to 15 million. We were raising 17 million. We've already raised over $2.1 million. So we're at 2.1 million. We'll go to the screen and show what's going on with the raise. So I tell everybody, go to startengine.com/fanbase. The minimum to invest is $399. But if you want to be specific, 25,000 people watching tonight, wherever they are, investing $600 gets us to $15 million. That's a lot. I know these platforms and all these people with, all these viewers and subscribers you guys have. Look, 25,000 people investing $600, and we raised $15 million for Fanbase. And so that is why, we're doing this tonight to really scale and continue to build this great company.
And also, I want to remind people who are watching, because it always happens. Folks talk about, well, this is so a perfect example for me. Okay, I'm a Fanbase investor, I'm a Fanbase user, and so I like posting multiple photos. All right, so how do we do that? Can we do that? And so the functionality. I got to remind everybody. I remember when Twitter, when Facebook, when Instagram, when Snapchat, when Vine, all of those, they didn't have the functionality to then that they have today. I think wasn't Instagram initially videos like 10 seconds?
When
then was like,
yeah, when they added
I
video.
think Vine was what, 7 seconds or something like that?
Yeah.
I remember I had some people, they said, Roland, why aren't you on Vine? I said, because first of all, I don't believe in disappearing content. I said, I don't believe in creating content and it goes away. And so then when Snapchat was the same way, then Snapchat changed it where your content actually stayed there. I went, okay, I'll join that. It's still sort of the same thing. So you have to build up. All of these companies built up to where they are now, and that was based upon what they raised, how much was invested in engineers and technology, and the exact same thing with Fanbase.
Yeah, I mean, our floor is the other app's ceiling. So our floor is the ceiling of, these other apps. So we kind of have to compete with these other platforms in ways that users expect. But we do an amazing job at that. The tech is solid. It's incredible. So I'm excited about that. I want to take people on the journey of Fanbase, and I want us to speak to somebody that really inspired me to first make Fanbase, and we can get into it and check it out. So here we go. All right. This is a special guest, probably the most important guest of Invest-A-athon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you all to meet Ghetto Spider. What's up, man?
Hello. How's everything going, man?
Everything is going excellent. Now, for people that don't know, you are the reason Fanbase exists. I want to talk about that. You went viral dancing in a Spider-Man costume in a GameStop.
Yes, that's correct.
And you are from Memphis, Tennessee.
Let's go. Memphis, Tennessee, all the way.
So I shot you a DM. You asked me if I managed content creators, which I didn't at the time. But you were really adamant about us connecting.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So I got out that conversation saying, wow, like this kid's going viral. He had like 300,000 followers out of nowhere. It was crazy. I was like, he's having the time of his life going viral in this costume, but how does he monetize that situation? Right. And, I was like, yo, we need an app where people can subscribe to people like Netflix, because if there's a chance that Disney or Marvel didn't want you using the costume, you're an amazing dancer. So I wanted people to be able to have an opportunity to monetize their content. And I don't think I had to talk to you for like an entire year. I really jumped into building Fanbase, and came back and told you about, you know, what Fanbase was about. So subsequently, you became a Fanbase investor.
Yes, I did. I think, was it the same year or the year after? I'm not sure.
It was pretty quick. I mean, I just thought it was amazing that, you know, I built this platform for content creators. You are a content creator. You're very successful in your own right, but giving you the opportunity to monetize your content on social media without being suppressed or getting banned or stuff like that is important. So what are you up to now?
So I created the Ghetto Avengers. I started off as Ghetto Spider, so it'll be nice to bring that audience to Fanbase, you know what I'm saying? Like, just bring the whole audience to Fanbase, because it's like a community. Like, YouTube, it don't feel more like a community, because everyone bring people from YouTube to Discord, but I feel like Fanbase will be more of a community thing.
Well, I got something really special that I'm going to show you offline, but I appreciate you stopping by. Tell everybody where they can go invest. Do you remember where everybody can go invest?
Start Engine. I think it's like you can start out at 300, 250, 300?
$3.99.
$3.99. $3.99. Hey, go invest. Hey, Fanbase. And it sound like Fanbase sound like, I'm not sure if I'm getting deja vu, but Fanbase sound like an out that it needs to be up there. Like, how did you get that name to begin with?
I trademarked it as soon as I heard it.
Like, that name's supposed to be known. Like, everyone should know that name by now. Fanbase.
Trust me, after this, everyone will know the name.
Hey, I'm looking forward. I'm an early investor. I'm excited to see this journey. Let's do it.
Thank you very much, man. I'll talk to you later.
I talk to you later. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Hi, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you helped build Fanbase, and we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits. We're back at Fanbase Invest-A-athon, and I got my guy, Desi Brown. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
What's happening,
Hey,
man?
oh man, bless. So I'm Desi Brown, the co-founder of the franchise game, marketer, connector. And what I want to talk about today is how important it is to invest in Fanbase. As a creator, we always are blowing up the other social media platforms, never to have an opportunity to actually invest back into the platform. And with Fanbase, it's your opportunity to not only blow up a Black-owned social media company, but to also make money through the platform, but also make money by investing in the platform. We've never had this opportunity with any other social media. And so it's very important to be on the at the intersection of culture and technology. And that was the reason that I invested. Isaac and I have been friends for years, and I invested through Start Engine very early on. So if you want that opportunity as well, make sure you go to startengine.com/fanbase, invest, get your money up. Let's make it happen.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, my guy. I appreciate that. What's up, Justin?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Justin Dawkins, a good friend of mine and one of my tech senseis that taught me about the tech industry when I first got started. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. It's a beautiful day here in the A, and happy to be here to support you and crowdfunding and just getting more people involved in the innovation economy, in the process of building a great technology and generational wealth. That's the idea. That's the dream.
Where do we lack right now currently in investment opportunity for businesses like mine? Where are we lacking? Because equity crowdfunding has really served as a way that I can have investors invest directly in my business. Where are we lacking?
Yeah, I think equity crowdfunding to me represents an opportunity to get everyday people involved in the innovation economy and get them involved in investing and helping to build local startups. Every startup that you've ever seen started out locally, started out with like a local group of people, whether that was in San Francisco or Boston or New York or here in Atlanta, and then it grows. And I think we miss that because we see the headlines, we see the Forbes list and the New York Times or whatever the case may be. But every movement starts with a small group of people, and equity crowdfunding represents that. And not taking advantage of that really, really misses the boat, misses a tremendous opportunity to get involved, A, early, but then B, to be much more instrumental in how a company grows and really helping to shape what it looks like as it grows. And so there's a lot of missed opportunity. A lot of great businesses are underfunded, under-resourced. And so equity crowdfunding and even some other tools I think are great options, especially for a lot of startups and businesses that may not fit squarely into venture capital models or other equity models.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
All good.
Think about Fanbase. Now, as someone that came to you and said, hey, I want to build an app, and we built one, tell me what you think about what we've been able to accomplish.
Well, first of all, I would say what you and the team have built over the years is just phenomenal. The technology is not easy. It requires a lot of intentionality, a lot of smart people around the table, obviously great engineering and design talent. But more than that, what I love about what you built is the community, and how you really, really focused on creators, especially when we look at where things are with other apps. Don't need to be mentioned right now, but we talk a lot about how they treat creators and how they don't capitalize them well, don't invest in them, don't give them the resources they need to be great, or just flat out just don't compensate them well. And I think what Fanbase represents and what you built is an opportunity for folks to earn money, also build a following, build a tribe, and really, really tap into those folks that are really passionate about them, what they produce and create, and making sure that entire ecosystem is an equitable ecosystem. And I think that's what I'm most proud of when I think about Fanbase, and it's honestly why I personally invested in the company.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm glad to have you as an investor. I think your cosign means a lot from someone that saw me work on this from the beginning and actually seen the tech and what we've been able to do. Let me ask you this, because I think this is also something that's important when it comes to Black tech, right? And one of the things I stress is infrastructure and ownership. Especially in like entertainment and technology, like the infrastructures are primarily not owned by people that look like us, but yet our culture powers them. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you hit the nail on the head. One of the things that makes the culture wonderful is that we are really great at building brands, telling stories, connecting. But when you look at building big companies, right, going beyond the brand, going into the systems, the processes, to your point, the infrastructure, it is critical that we own pieces of that as well. So I always like to think of it or liken it to, even the clothing or the apparel lines that we put out. Like, yes, we're good at putting dope graphics and, getting the right textures, but we don't own the cotton. We don't own the manufacturing. We don't own the process of actually producing the good. So we're really great at brands, and that's amazing, and we can continue to do that. But yes, we should go, as we like to say, go vertical. We should start looking at supply chain. We should start looking at owning our technology and the other things that make up the platforms in which we can produce more and more and more businesses, more brands, and we actually own more of it, which gives us really I think the power that I think we all want as a community.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate you, coming through the Invest-A-athon. This is something that's never been done before. This is kind of different. I think this can serve as a model for us to continue to support each other and build businesses. So I appreciate your support. Let everybody know where they can go invest.
Oh, that's easy. Startengine.com /Fanbase. Get in early. It's time. It's time to take off. I think we're in a wonderful transition as far as our economy, as far as the creator economy. And I think Fanbase is poised and in the right position to take full advantage of the moment and really enable creators as well as investors. And I think we can win together. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, man. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. Anytime. Appreciate it.
Shout out to the whole Fanbase family, all the investors, everybody that's tuned in having this conversation. My name's Ebro. I host the morning show in New York City, Ebro in the morning, drive time. Also work at Apple Music as a host and do other work inside Apple Music as the global editorial head of hip hop and R&B there. And, a lot of content gets made by me, my team. And when I saw Fanbase was, being in a position to accept investors, I decided to invest and support, because we all know that Black content and Black creators set the trends. Some of the most engaged with content on the internet and on media platforms. And so with the company Fanbase positioning that as a priority to make sure that Black creatives and their content gets monetized and they get credit for it and they can build their businesses, I felt like it was a no-brainer for me to make an investment and participate. So I was honored to do so. I hope to do more as the technology grows and more tools become available for creatives. I plan to engage a lot more. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep sharing the message. And let's keep growing this thing. Now is a great time too. I think there's a lot of transition taking place in tech and in content. And so, let's keep pushing forward. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the Fanbase Invest-A-athon. My next guest is someone that is extremely important to what we're doing at Fanbase and our partnership with HBCU students in the Black community. I want to welcome Dr. Lisa Herring, the director of Propel, to the Fanbase Invest-A-athon. How you doing, Lisa? What's good?
I'm fantastic. It's so happy to be here with you today and excited about this time together. I think that and most excited about our partnership with the Propel Center and with Fanbase.
So let's talk about that real quick. Like, what is Propel for people that don't know Propel? And then we'll talk about our partnership.
Yeah, so for the last year, I've had the pleasure of serving as president of the Propel Center, and the most frequented question that's asked is, what is the Propel Center? So with clarity and with great excitement, the Propel Center is the nation's first innovation tech hub uniquely designed to support our country's historically Black colleges and universities. The follow-up to that is, so what do you mean when you say an innovation tech hub? So what we mean very clearly is that as an innovation tech hub, we interface with all of our HBCUs across the HBCU ecosystem by way of connecting with scholars, our students, with faculty, and of course, with the institution at large. We provide upskilling opportunities for our scholars at the Propel Center, those who have an interest in careers that may not always be top of mind, but are top of mind as it relates to the workforce. So that can be AI, arts and entertainment, cybersecurity, critical partnerships that then also allow for us to prepare a space for our students to go into internships and apprenticeships. We also, Isaac, prepare and provide for our scholars micro-credentialing and upskilling opportunities in these fields, while simultaneously working with faculty to do professional development with them.
I'm really excited about this because, right down the street from our new headquarters right now, you guys are going to build the Propel Center, which is a HBCU innovation hub for all the HBCUs in the United States of America. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so when Apple and Southern Company invested approximately $50 million into the Propel Center back in 2020, it was done so as a result of what most of us know as a reaction to the George Floyd murders. Both Apple and Southern were not only intentional, but also very proactive in taking a stand with their investment, particularly under the area of racial and equity and social justice initiatives. For us, what that has meant is this investment in our HBCU ecosystem. We established MOUs, memorandums of understanding, with over 80 plus HBCUs across our 100 plus HBCU ecosystem. And the Propel Center will be housed on the campus of Clark Atlanta University on Student Movement Boulevard. We're about 4 years into existence, and we've spent the last several years developing our program. Our program has been inclusive of a Propel Learn platform that is an app that allows for students to have access to our courses and our micro-credentials. But I love to explain Propel in this way. It's an opportunity for students to be online, on-site, and on campus. And our on-site structure will be here in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll start our campaign for that very soon for additional funding. But most importantly, we're already on campus across the ecosystem. And as you know, we have this amazing opportunity to connect our students with industry partners who are also deeply invested in our scholars.
Yeah, I'm excited about our partnership. One, Fanbase was founded specifically to allow creators to monetize their content, but more importantly, we understand the value that Black culture brings to social media and the opportunity for people to monetize their content. And then in the tech space, I wanted to also build something that I know that in the future, we could actually have people come along, be part of Fanbase, work for Fanbase. And one of the things that I, wanted to announce with you right now, which I think is extremely important, is that with this new raise and this Invest-A-athon that we're doing, we are going to commit to a pipeline of creating job opportunities and getting people to come and work at Fanbase through Propel. And
yes.
I'm so excited about that because I think it's more important that young individuals, young Black individuals have opportunity to work at tech companies, especially a social media company that's founded right in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm excited to be able to announce that. Like we are committed to the pipeline of bringing a lot more Black students and Black employees into Fanbase by way of this partnership.
So let me be very clear and intentional around celebrating and embracing this opportunity with you, not just for our professional partnership, but for what I've always believed all my life is our most important focus, and that's our scholars. What this does, just to be clear, it addresses the urgency for us to not only support, but create future innovators. That's definitely a part of what's happening. And I want to appreciate something that you said, Isaac, and that is creating pathways for Black creators. So our partnership with Fanbase, hands down, does just that. In partnership with the Propel Center and Fanbase, and when I think about the scholars that I've already had a chance to not only engage with, interview, talk with, even on within the campus of Fanbase, I know that it's a difference maker. And then most importantly, we're investing in what, as an HBCU alum, is important for me to name as HBCU excellence. So this is a lifetime opportunity for not just our professional partnership, it's an opportunity for the scholars that we serve, and it's the way we change the game. And that, my dear, my friend, sir, is the most important work we can do in this time, in our culture, and of course, in our city.
So I'm going to also, now here's the next bit of news that I think we're announcing right now, which is the fact that Fanbase is going to commit to taking a portion of our revenue that we make as a company and create the Fanbase Propel Scholarship. So
that's right.
To announce that, I think that is extremely important. So we could talk a little bit about that, but give me your thoughts on that.
So it's not even as much as thought as it is a reaction and gratitude. And let me say this about you and your vision and leadership in this partnership with the Propel Center and our work for, as I shared earlier, investing in HBCU excellence. This opportunity to raise money that allows for scholarships to go to an HBCU scholar that's connected with the Propel Center is not only a shared goal of empowering our young Black leaders, but I think it's so important. It's so important. It changes their life. It eliminates issues of concern. And it also invests in them by saying that we see you, we believe in you, and we want to be a part of this journey, whether that's entrepreneurship, right? Whether that's a creator in the industry, however they see it. So I'm grateful for that. You know, in the absence of our scholars, it's a deep, heartfelt thank you. And in the thinking about our future, this is the way we come together and make a difference in the lives of our Black and brown community, but especially the scholars that we're very focused around supporting. This, sir, is a game changer. So we're deeply excited. We need like a drum roll, right? Can I do like the virtual drum roll or kind of the loud applause, something to that? Yeah, some theme music around it. It's amazing. And I want it to be clear. It is also a collaborative vision, and it speaks to the call to action, where now more than ever, we all have to do something to be able to say, not only do we support our HBCU community, we're deeply invested in it. And this is a testament of true investment.
Hey, that is the perfect way to wrap this up. I am so appreciative of your time and you coming to Fanbase Invest-A-athon. This is a movement, an economic movement, tech movement, and a Black movement per se too, definitely with our partnership. So I appreciate you stopping through Invest-A-athon. I'm excited that you're here. I can't wait to work closer together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know. But,
yes, please.
No, but I thank you. You guys are an amazing partner to have, and I really appreciate that. This is something that is special for us to be able to do as a social media tech startup right here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's to really be connected to the community and HBCUs around the country, and there's a lot of talented young people. I mean, we've done some partnerships in the past, and some of the kids you guys have are incredible, amazing, smart, brilliant people. So I'm glad to be affiliated with you guys and continue to work with you. So thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you very much. And I'm sure we will cross paths sooner than later, as always.
As always. And thank you for rising to the call to action. What you're doing is, as I shared earlier, it's life-saving for our scholars and our institutions, quite candidly. And the Fanbase and Propel partnership, I know for certain will help advance equity in tech, and that we are going to together help launch the next generation of creators with the tools that they need. And again, in their absence and also in their presence at the Propel Center, we thank you and we thank Fanbase.
Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by.
Always. Okay.
Back to the Fanbase Invest-A-athon. Right now, I have Mr. Jared Albritton, host of the Big Tech Energy Podcast. This man has been in the tech space for almost 20 years. He is a Fanbase investor, but I definitely wanted to get his voice on this Invest-A-athon to talk about the importance of Black tech and owning equity in tech startups. I'll let you take it away, man.
Yeah, man. Isaac, really appreciate you for having me on. Really excited about this next round of investment. Really excited for the people that are watching this to have a chance to make history and also become part of a huge Black generational wealth creation event. Once this company, goes public, it gets acquired, whatever the case is going to happen in the future. But just a little bit about my background. I've been in tech since 2006 and primarily in the startup space since 2010. And, as part of being in the startup space, one thing that's really important to me is equity, because equity is the type of thing where somebody like a seed investor at Uber puts in $5,000 and then once they go public, makes 24 million. These are opportunities that our community typically gets left out of because we don't meet the requirements or we're just not in the right rooms, in the right spaces. So for this opportunity, I'm really excited that you are in the right space. You do have the opportunity. And not only can you invest, but you can also have an impact on how this investment grows in the future by sharing to people to join Fanbase, to create clubs, to make content on the app. And so how I discovered, Fanbase was, I was on this app called Clubhouse, where I was basically helping people break into the tech space and building a huge audience, but I'm building an audience for a platform that I have no ownership in. So when I saw what Isaac was doing with Fanbase, I jumped right in, invested really early. Since I've invested, I think my investment has increased 5-10x, something to that effect. But that's only just a small amount compared to where I see it going in the future. If our community does what we do on all platforms, which is bring our humor, bring our swagger, bring our, point of view that has blown up other social media platforms. If we just go ahead and do the same thing, Fanbase is absolutely going to be successful. And what I like about Fanbase, besides the fact that, it's Black owned and we can have ownership, is just the functionality aspect of it. You can do things like I do on YouTube on the app. You can do things like I did on Clubhouse with social audio on the app. You can do things like I do on Instagram on the app. But instead of only seeing, only my audience seeing, only a small amount of my audience seeing this material, the opportunity for my entire audience to see this material and to do revenue share, get hearts for everything I do on the platform. I had one conversation I did on Fanbase where I looked on my phone and I made like $25. Clubhouse, Instagram, etc. Never really had that happen. Never had that opportunity. So just thinking about once the app has millions and millions of more users on the app platform, there's no toggling down of the algorithm like you see on Instagram and other platforms. I can envision myself going live on Fanbase and making $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $50,000. The sky's the limit. So if you're not a user of Fanbase, highly recommend that you use it. But if you're not an investor in Fanbase, this is your opportunity to get in right now before the price goes up, like Fat Joe said. And you can absolutely be a part of history. Because what I'm interested in, what I'm excited about, is the fact that this could be an event, however many years down the line. You definitely want to be patient with this investment. Don't think it's going to happen overnight, right? But when it does happen, this is going to create so many Black millionaires. And what that's going to be able to do for our community is incredibly huge. I mean, shoot, if only I think I did the math before, if only 600 people, if 25,000 people invest $600, that's $15 million right there. Just 25,000 people, $600 each. And we could raise $15 million right now, pump it into the app, and then all of the things that he's going to do from a tech standpoint that I heard about that I can't share. All I can say is I'm really excited. And I really hope that you jump on this opportunity, because if you don't, and you see the company get acquired or go public or whatever that event is, you're going to be kicking yourself. So jump into it, get involved, spread the word about Fanbase. And yeah, when it comes to ownership, that's all that matters in this world, to be honest. And this is an opportunity to own something and be a part of history. So yeah, man, that's my passionate appeal to everybody in the space. And if you're interested in learning more about tech, AI, and how to get careers in tech, feel free to check me out on Big Tech Energy Podcast on YouTube, and Dr. J on Instagram, and Dr. J, more importantly, on Fanbase, where I'll be building community and really growing an audience there, and taking advantage of all the functionality that I can get on Fanbase. So that's it, man. Any questions?
No, man, that's it. You said it perfectly. I got one question for you. Where can they go invest?
Yeah, so if you go to startengine.com/fanbase, startengine.com/fanbase, that's where you can get a piece of this pie that's going to be worth a ton of money in the future. So that's where you need to go.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for stopping by Invest-A-athon. I appreciate you. I know you're busy at a conference, you're doing your thing, but I'm glad you took the time out of your day to stop by the Invest-A-athon for Fanbase. This is really impactful and powerful. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon, man. All right?
Sounds good.
All right, my guy. Thank you. All right. So now I have to play this and make this special announcement. Will.I.Am is up next, but this isn't really a live conversation. Will.I.Am was gracious enough to join the Invest-A-athon right from South Africa off the plane, but I'm really excited to bring this conversation, and it's really insightful, and I hope everybody really tunes in and listen to this. So here's the conversation that I had with Will.I.Am that I filmed at about 2:30 this morning, 2:30 a.m. I had to get up and do this, but it was important to have Will on, and I wanted to make sure we do that. So here's Will.I.Am in our conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not at the Fanbase headquarters. I am at home, but I had to get this amazing guest for the Invest-A-athon. Welcome, Will.I.Am. How you doing, my guy?
What up, Isaac? I'm chilling, bro. Just here in South Africa.
First of all, I want to thank you because, when I reached out to you about this, you were saying, I think I'm going to be in South Africa, but let me check. And the fact that you got right off the plane, made time to do this, I really appreciate you for that. You are someone that I extremely respect in the space of technology, especially what you're doing with AI and all the amazing things that you're doing. I want to ask you, when it comes to technology and Black culture, where are we lacking? Why do we need to own infrastructure and technology as Black people?
I could say, we right now, everybody's at the same starting point. There's some people that are further ahead, the obvious ones, but for the majority of folks, we're right, we're all in the right place because in the past, everyone wasn't equal like this. And so there's people listening to this right now and be like, what are you talking about? How can you say we're equal in this? I'm coming from an optimistic, competitive perspective. And when you want to win, to have a underdog, I'm way in the back mentality. I don't want to have that mentality. So I like to project where I am creatively. And creatively, we are far beyond. And because that's what it's going to take for us to truly dominate in this new renaissance that we're in. But by saying that we are all in the same starting place, we are all in the same starting place because there has been a reset. This AI stuff is going to reset how businesses are ran. It's going to reset how people are educated. It's going to reset how, going back to how businesses are ran, there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to be rendered obsolete with this new renaissance, but it's also going to create a whole bunch of new jobs, a whole bunch of new industries. And the folks that are going to create that are the creatives and folks that have massive imagination. And our community has massive imagination. More importantly, our community has a lot of unsolved problems, and we could solve those problems ourselves. And when we solve those problems ourselves with our massive power of imagination, that's going to catapult us in a realm and a vibe that we haven't seen. It's a whole new jump off. It's similar to the third industrial revolution, early 1900s, late 1800s. We are at that right now as far as how the world is going to change. And if you're creative or hyper creative, let's get creative. Let's compete.
So with Fanbase, and I also heard you speak about Fanbase. I didn't even know you talked about Fanbase when you were on The View that one time, and I was like, Will.I.Am knows about Fanbase? Like, this is crazy. But how important is it that we own technology? Like the goal of what I'm doing right now is the fact that I'm creating the opportunity for people to invest and actually have equity in a tech company at an early stage, which we didn't really have a chance to do. So how important is that?
Okay, I was talking about Fanbase the other day. I talk about Fanbase a lot in interviews, or when I'm talking about these mega companies, the very few mega companies. And there's nothing wrong with competing with giants. And if you think of I don't know how many other Instagram alternatives there is. And there's one that I know of that just so happens to be Black owned, and that's Fanbase. And it's important that we have Black owned awesomeness, especially if we're audacious enough to compete with giants. You know, if you're competing with a company that's worth $1 trillion and you come close, yo, that's what's wrong with that. You know, people are going to invest money in whatever stuff. You're going to invest money in somebody else's stuff, not even knowing, you know, that's somebody else's stuff at one point in time didn't really fuck with us. So, you know, in this renaissance that we're in, I think there's going to be few big companies. Wait, there's already a few big companies, but I think there's going to be more small companies than there are a few big companies. Like the idea of having like a big company with a lot of employees and there's only a few of them making all the money. I don't think that's what tomorrow looks like. I think tomorrow looks like giant small companies, like a lot of them, because there's a lot of people on the planet. And Fanbase being, you know, an alternative that has a business model that supports creatives, you know, and folks to have access to their reach. That's an awesome thing. And it's even more awesome that it's Black owned.
I'll take that compliment any day. So right now, we are raising $15 million. Our goal is to raise $15 million. And I think that with that, it's going to give us a 3-year runway to really compete. You know, a lot of times Black companies don't get access to capital through VCs. I mean, less than 0.5% of all dollars went to Black startups last year. And so equity crowdfunding, which is what I've been able to do to raise capital, this is the only shot I got. What do you think about equity crowdfunding? How do you feel about that? How do you think about funding our own business, even other types of businesses with equity crowdfunding? How do you think that can help build Black business in a way that's been difficult?
Okay, I've invested in AI companies. I've started AI companies. I've sold AI solutions. And then I've, you know, I have a foundation where we serve the inner city. I started in the projects that I come from, and I started with 65 students. And, you know, in 2008 to now we serve 15,000 students. And raising money for AI versus raising money for HI, human intelligence, to get Black and brown people up to speed, it's hard. It's not just like raising money for a Black-owned company. It's hard raising money just to get Black people and brown people up to speed. And so, and if you think about that hurts. It still hurts my spirit. That, but I still keep going. You know, we've sent kids to Dartmouth and Brown and Stanford and Georgetown and UCLA and USC. We have amazing, you know, scholars that are going to school for engineering and computer science and synthetic biology. That all come from my neighborhood. But we got some hurdles and some barricades that were thrown at us. And really, at the end of the day, you know, our spinning power, our cool making, you know, our situation at this point in time, you know, we could get ourselves out of this if we supported ourselves, especially in this renaissance. It's going to take our, you know, uncles, our aunts, our mothers, our fathers to, you know, our next door neighbors, our friends, our cousins, our grandmas, our grandpas. You know, it's going to take us all to help us all out. We are our own cavalry at this point in time, especially with this new tool that we got. And so I know firsthand, I got a company, FYI.ai. It's hard raising money, especially in this climate. We're in a recession. People ain't investing like they used to, especially in Black and brown businesses. You know, and we could come up, we could pull ourselves up, we could like push our, you know, make time for one another and support one another. That's why when you were like, yo, I'm doing this thing, I'm like, yo, I gotta show up. Any in any form, whether it's virtual. If I was in LA, I would get on an airplane, I'll fly to wherever your event was. But yeah, we need each other right now.
Thank you. I mean, well, right now we're on Start Engine, so the minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase, and that's critical at this early stage of a company.
It's not just that. Like, you could invest money, or you could just use it all the time. Like, because if people invest and then they don't use it, that ain't good.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, use it all the time. Invest and use it all the time. But think about the things that we actually invest in. You know, like, we've invested in characters that poison our community. Like, we celebrate the folks that poison our community. We look up to the cats that like got our aunts and uncles strung out on a substance. We bigging them up. Like, think about the shit that we actually entertain and like respect at the highest level. So, and then there's like this new type of thing that folks they know the importance of it, and you know, you not Nino Brown, this ain't juice, but you got a different juice. You got, you know, something that I wish I could get my cousins and my niece and my nephew to be like, yo, I'm gonna start my own tech company. We need more Isaac Hazens. You know, your dad inspired me to make music. You're gonna inspire my cousins and my family members to start tech companies. I hope, you know, because when they see Uncle Willie, they be like, that's because Uncle Willie, you crazy, Uncle Willie. But when they see somebody else doing it too, right alongside, we got a movement. So back to what I was saying, $399. You gonna spend $399 eventually on some bullshit. But if you're gonna invest $399 and then use it every day to ensure that your investment grows, and you get your cousins in the neighborhood to be on it every day,
Yeah.
and a movement happens, you know, and you a part of it as it grows, and you pushing it to grow, you out here farming and nurturing something that will change our communities. Like, think of Instagram's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not just like it's a lot of money. Like, it could. I would always say, like, imagine if WhatsApp came from Watts. Imagine that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, TikTok is massive, but it's not just the loop. It's the you know, people using it all the time, believing in it. You know, being a part of Beats, I saw it. You know, people use Beats. They wore them. Right? That was the choice. And it was different from, like, you know, it was a movement. They spent their money and they wore them. Now, what you're doing is like community based. It's like, yo, invest, use it, and we all grow. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, man. I mean, I want to thank you. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you for taking the time. As soon as you land in South Africa, I want you to continue to lead the tech space, because I'm really tapped into what you're doing and everything that you do. We are allies in this tech space together, and I value your friendship and your mentorship and your experience very much. But I want to thank you for taking time to join us at the Invest-A-athon.
Thank you. And check out FYI.ai, all the folks listening to this. That's my company. Yep, we in the thick of it. Getting ready to deploy our tech across, amazing hardware, partnering up with other companies as well. But salute Fanbase. Thanks for your bravery, your audaciousness, your ambition. Anything I could do to help, I'll be there. All right, peace out, bro.
Thank you, my guy. I appreciate it.
All right,
my man.
What's up, y'all? Look, Fanbase is more than a platform. It's a movement to empower creators, offering a unique opportunity for everyday people to invest in Black-owned tech, infrastructure, and help shape the future of social media. Investing in technology is essential for creating long-term wealth and influence in the digital age. The Black community must not only consume tech, we must own it.
Discover how equity crowdfunding can serve as a powerful tool for funding Black businesses, allowing entrepreneurs to raise capital directly through their community through the Jobs Act.
I'm back. We're back on Invest-A-thon. Coming up next, I think we have Tamika Mallory. Is she available? If not, we can go to Pastor Jamal Bryant. If Tamika's here, let's go with Tamika. But if not, let's go with Pastor Jamal Bryant. Oh, y'all hear me? While y'all wait, make sure you go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. I think we just have a backstage issue, but how do you like it so far? Listen, we're raising capital, though. I wish y'all could see the screen. We are raising money. We raised probably about $50,000, like really quickly. Like I think we raised about $50,000 in the first, 30 minutes or so, whatever, doing this. So it's running up. Go to startengine.com/fanbase right now and invest. Tell your friends, share these links, share your YouTube links. Like take these YouTube links, throw them in your group chat, tell all your friends what's going on. There's a lot more people coming up to speak. I want you to hear all these people. Tap in, let's go, let's roll, let's continue. If you have not invested, reinvest. That is extremely important. It helps us scale, and we're at an inflection point. We have to really take advantage of this moment to do this. So, let's roll. Where are we at now?
All right, so waiting for Tamika Mallory and Pastor Jamal Bryant to connect. So they are not here just yet. And again, for folks who may have just started tuning in, this is the Fanbase Invest-A-thon. Of course, there's a lot of information out here, folks, so that you can get. I saw someone on the YouTube chat that said, hey, I need more information about the company's financials. Guys, if you go to startengine.com/fanbase, you'll see all of the detailed information, the SEC filings, all that sort of stuff. It's all there at startengine.com/fanbase. And so if you have if you want any information about how the company's performed, its current valuation, how many investors there are, how much was raised in the previous raise, all the information is right there. So all you gotta do is go to it. You're gonna simply go to startengine.com/fanbase for that information. And so, this is really about the opportunity for us to be able to get in on the ground floor. And let me just say this, because this is the thing. You heard Will.I.Am talk about this, and I talk about this all the time. And I'll never forget. I was the speaker at a Chamber of Commerce event, a Black Chamber of Commerce event in Houston. And it was very interesting because they had a live auction. And they had this diamond necklace. And then they had this, after the diamond necklace was a custom tailored suit. And so I sat there and I watched the diamond necklace sell for $600-700. And I literally saw the tailored suit actually go for more than $1,000. Now, why was I perplexed by that? First, that tailored suit, only you can wear it. You can't sell it. You can't, I mean, that's it. The diamond necklace actually is going to maintain its value or have more value. And I sat there and I said, is that how we, frankly, sometimes make decisions as African Americans? That's literally what I said. So I then look at, and again, Will.I.Am made this point, look at the things that we buy. Look at the things that we invest in. So I'm just sitting here, and again, I'm thinking just functionally. So, 2 iPhones, okay? Now, because of what I do with social media and everything like that, and I've got T-Mobile and I got Verizon, all that sort of stuff like that. Okay, so more than $1,000 for each phone. Okay, I got an iPad right here. I think this iPad was $1,100, whatever the number was. Okay, I got a MacBook Pro right here. I've got other items here. Now, ask yourself the question: what do you spend money on, and does that money grow? Meaning, is it going to grow? Can it actually blow up? That's how you have to think. And I'll never forget the conversation that, and I wish I had pulled the video up. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was offered $1 million from Converse to sign with Converse, and he was offered Nike stock. He was offered Nike stock. And I'm gonna pull up. I'm just gonna say Magic Johnson. Give me 1 second. Magic Johnson and Nike. Okay. So it was 1979. Nike was not Nike then as it is now. Phil Knight did not have the money to pay to give folks big salaries. But he offered Magic Johnson stock. Magic Johnson turned the stock down to accept the Converse cash. Had Magic Johnson, and this is a story from August 10th, 2023 in Sports Illustrated. Had Magic Johnson not turned the stock down, the stock that Magic Johnson was offered last year would have been worth $5.2 billion. That means Magic Johnson would be the second richest African American in the country. But Magic said, we didn't have anybody in my family who had stocks. We didn't know anything about that. He said Converse was well known, took the cash. And that right there speaks to what happens a lot of times with African Americans. How we're not, frankly, from a cultural standpoint, because we've been shut out of these things for decades, for centuries. We don't think in terms of stocks, equity, and things along those lines. A lot of it's cash right now. Isaac has talked about African Americans who are huge on Twitch, who are huge on other platforms, who are getting paid very well, but they have no equity. They got no equity. 50 Cent was at Invest-A talking about that. The initial liquor deal he was offered, marketing deal, wasn't an equity deal. Diddy had a marketing deal, wasn't an equity deal. When companies get sold, guess who gets paid? The owners, those with equity. So this is about you having an opportunity to, on the ground floor, get equity in a technology company, and in technology is the space where most wealth is actually being built. Isaac tells his story all the time, and Isaac, I can't remember his name. And again, people think, oh, big money. You tell the story of the guy who invested just $5,000 in Uber, and when Uber went public, his $5,000 investment was it 24 million?
Yes, it was $24 million.
So he just put in $5,000.
Yeah.
There's somebody watching right now. You literally spent $5,000 on a vacation.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't go on vacation. But what I am saying to our people, we have to make decisions on what are we spending our money on today and what it could mean down the road. I can't wait until Jamal Bryant is here.
He's here.
He's here. Pastor Jamal Bryant is here.
Yeah.
All right. Bring that cap up.
Back in Invest-A-athon.
You got him?
For Fanbase, I got Pastor Jamal Bryant. How you doing, Jamal? What's good?
Man, I'm super duper excited to be with you, and all the more. It's got to be serendipitous or divine timing. I am talking to you live from Tulsa, Oklahoma, on Black Wall Street. Now, here's what's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor of a church, but before I was a pastor, I worked for the NAACP as the National Youth and College Director. And I need you all to hear something so critical. The Klan, the government, has never bombed an NAACP office, never bombed an Urban League office, never bombed a Rainbow Push office, never bombed a National Action Network office. The first time America ever bombed itself was right here in Tulsa, Greenwood, because it was Black economic power. Their greatest fear is that we understand how strong we are economically. We are, Isaac, the 11th wealthiest nation in the world, and we got nothing to show for it but shoes and bags. When you and I were talking a couple of months ago, and you shared with me, if you could just get our own people to invest in Fanbase, it's going to be absolutely revolutionary. I need you all to understand something so critical, that the next step after civil rights is civil rights. And those civil rights, hear this, are coming through technology. This is an economic boom that all of us have got to be a part of. Benjamin Mays, former president of Morehouse College, said, you got to run faster or you're forever left behind. Do you know how many people wish they could have invested in Apple? How many people wish they would have invested in Dell? How many people wish that they would have invested in Microsoft and they missed the opportunity? I don't even know whether it's divine timing or Isaac was just in the spirit realm. But the reason why this week is so important for us to be a part of Invest-A-athon is 15 years ago this week, Mark Zuckerberg bought Instagram for Facebook for $1 billion. Do you think that he regrets that investment? Not for one moment. Your greatest regret is not what you do. Your greatest regret is what you don't do. And so I want all of us to be a part of a fan base, that this gives us an opportunity to not be consumers, but to be investors. I know this is hard. Isaac, when I give you this, you can have a nosebleed and gonna need a nap for 20 minutes. It's hard for you to do it because 86% of Black people don't own a single piece of stock. So when we're talking about investing, I might as well be talking in Swahili, Arabic, or Hebrew, because you don't even understand what it means. Let's not live for today. Let's live for tomorrow. So I am giving the challenge for 25,000. How many are we challenging?
25,000 people.
Yeah, 25,000 people to give $600 and change your future, your destiny. I don't want you to think about Fanbase. I want you to think about your future. I want you to think about your legacy that you're leaving behind. Isn't it amazing that Prince had no estate planning? Aretha Franklin had no estate planning. Michael Jackson had no estate planning. And so the state had to come and make a plan. For you to invest in Fanbase says everything that we need to know, that you're concerned about your children, concerned about your legacy, and concerned about the future. 92% of Black people, and I'm finished with data, I'm finished with stats, 92% of Black people don't know the names of their great-grandparents. And they don't know the names of their great-grandparents, drum roll, because they didn't leave them nothing. We at the funeral fighting over earrings and a stole, and mama wanted me to have a lamp. Because we've not made a real investment on how it is that we're doing it. I've been walking the street here in Tulsa. It is the 102nd anniversary of the bombing. And I came up this week because I wanted to see it. And because of one of our family members, the Bryants, owned a dry cleaning on this street. The Bryants was before the Jeffersons. We was moving on up. And I wanted to make sure that I remember not only our legacy, but those who don't know their history are destined and they're doomed to repeat it. Some Baptist preacher, the doors to the church are open. The ushers are coming now. I'm passing the gold plates. I need 25,000 of you all to partner with me to make an investment to the future. What's the website, Isaac, that we're supposed to go to?
Startengine.com/fanbase.
Yeah,
startengine.com/fanbase.
/fanbase. Ask that you all would do it. And I need you to do something a preacher never tells you to do. You ain't never heard this in church. I'm telling you to start a rumor. I need you to tell this everywhere, that what Isaac Hayes III is doing is radical and is revolutionary, and we got to protect him at all costs. So do me a favor. Not only do I need you to give, I need you to share this. I need you to please post this. Those of you, take the copy link and then put it in your group threads. The group threads that you are in right now, you got at least 3 of them that's at the top of your phone. Drop me into the phone right now and say, hey, y'all, let's do something. Every year, y'all planning on the same stuff. Let's go to brunch. Let's go to the Essence Festival. Let's go to the winery. This time, let's pool our money together. Let's not buy out the bar. Let's raise the bar and say, this is what it is that we're going to do and how it is that we're going to be forward thinking. After it is that you make this investment, add a title onto your social media handle. If you invest in Fanbase, add this title on your social media handle. Here it is, Afrofuturist. You are a Black person who is living for the future, and you believe that the best of who we are is not what we used to be, but what we're becoming. So as the children invest 25,000 of y'all, here it is. That's not even a half, it's not even a quarter, it's not even a third of those who went to the Million Man March. We're not even asking you to go nowhere. You ain't got to meet us at Centennial Park. You ain't got to meet us at the Lincoln Monument. So we're not asking you to buy no hotel. We're not asking you to get on Spirit Airlines. We're asking you right from the comfort of your home that 25,000 of you will be in lockstep with us. And in the days to come, your grandchildren are going to ask you, what were you doing when Fanbase was launched? And you're going to respond, I was watching Netflix. I was watching Hulu. I was in a group thread talking about who got arrested, but I didn't do nothing about the future. Come on, man. Ice Cube said you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. $600. We spent, if you in Atlanta, you spend that on hookah and lamb chops. Come on, don't play with me. If you in DC, you spend it on mambo sauce. If you in Memphis, you spent it on hot chicken sandwiches. Come on now, don't do this to me. If you in LA, you did it on Randy's Donuts. Wherever it is that you are, I need you to pull that $600 together and let's make an incredible history. Cornel West said Black people got to stop reciting Black history and start making Black history. This is a Black history moment, and I know y'all are thrown off because you only used to doing Black history in February. Well, it's September, and you still Black. So I need 25,000 of y'all to help us to do something incredible, something monumental, and something significant. If the next president is Black, and they don't have a Black tech or Black economic agenda, we're doing the electric slide backwards. Come on, y'all. Let's move this thing forward. All aboard the love train. You ain't got to get on the midnight train to Georgia. Get on the midnight train to this website. 25,000 of you. Sow a seed of 600, and let's change the world. Isaac, I'm glad to be rocking with you, brother. Anytime you need me, call me Colette. And it don't matter whether I am in Oklahoma or Kenya. I'm gonna be there because I'm looking to cash out. This cannot fail. I got 3 kids in college, and none of them Negroes got a scholarship. I need this to work. So let's do something meaningful. Let's do something significant.
Man, thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. StartEngine.com/fanbase, everybody. Thank you, Pastor Brian, for stopping in to the Invest-A-athon. I appreciate you very much, man.
No, love you always for no reason. I see you at the top.
All right, man.
God bless you.
We got a couple of great guests coming up, but I thought Jamal was gonna tell the story, but he didn't. I'm about to mess y'all up real quick. Herb Kelleher, if y'all don't know who that is, co-founder of Southwest Airlines. Jamal's daddy was the bishop, the AME Church in Dallas. Herb, y'all, I'm about to mess y'all up. Herb Kelleher approached Jamal's daddy about joining the board of Southwest Airlines. Offered him stock. His daddy turned it down. His daddy was like, I don't know about airlines. That was a second company. I can't remember it. I don't know if it was Blockbuster. There was a second company, same thing. Jamal said to this day, his mama want to smack his daddy. Why am I saying that, y'all? I'm telling you. Why am I saying that? Because had Jamal's daddy accepted that offer, Jamal wouldn't be worried about the scholarships for his daughters. Because that stock potentially could be 10, 20, 30, 50, $100 million today. This is what we're talking about, y'all. It's what we don't know that's throwing us up. This, all information, I see y'all in the chat. Y'all all keep saying, asking about the investments. Listen to me clearly. Everything you want to know about this investment, just go to startengine.com/fanbase. I see y'all asking about the investments. Y'all just go to the site. Stop asking the moderators to give it all. It's all there. But what we have to do is we have got to get our people to understand you're not going to build wealth working on that job, making $40,000, $50,000 and paying your bills. It's not. This is how in the last 20 years, technology is driving wealth creation in the United States.
We got a guest. We got Tamika Mallory with us.
Tamika Mallory, co-founder of Until Freedom. She joins us right now. Tamika, what up?
What's up, family? What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing great, man. Thank you for coming to the Invest-A-athon. I appreciate you. You've been a supporter of Fanbase, an ally. I appreciate you so much. I want you to give your perspective of where we are right now and why we need this platform and why this platform is important to you.
Well, I think there's, several reasons. First of all, there's very personal reasons. And I think that people ask me why I do civil rights work and why I'm so committed to the movement. And they expect me to give them this big answer that includes all of the people in the world that I want to help. And sometimes I tell them it's real personal for me, my son, my granddaughter, my father, my family, and even me. I want us to be safe and to be protected. And so for me, it's real personal. I listen to Jamal, as only Jamal can speak, say some really powerful things about, why we need to focus on building wealth. But he also said that we only have to show for most of our money, bags and shoes, and we fighting over the stolen, the earrings. And let me tell you, I want the bags, the shoes, I want the stole, I want the earrings, and I'm on my way right now to buy out the bar, as he said. And I think we should have all those things, but I also want financial freedom. I also want to make sure that my family, that I am able to leave them something, and that they do know my name, and that they can remember me for more than just being out in the streets protesting and organizing our people. That is important, but it is also important for us to organize our people to be able to sustain ourselves. You know, I, in my heart of hearts, am an abolitionist. I do not believe in having police and outsiders providing public safety for our community. I believe that we should be providing our own public safety, and that most of what happens in terms of holding our people accountable should be done within the community. But that cannot happen if we do not have an economic engine that will help us to sustain a model, that will help us to pay for what it looks like to canvass our communities, to have the types of programs necessary for our people to be safe, to be whole, and for our people to be educated so that we can get rid of food deserts and all the things that's happening around us that creates the unfortunate circumstances where police are even needed in our communities at all. I believe that our economic freedom is going I believe that our economic freedom is going to be the key towards our sustainability and to us taking and having self-determination and taking into our own hands what we know how to do for ourselves. In every community that I work in, where they have strong grassroots organizations that are doing anti-violence work, I think about Erica Ford here in New York City, and A.T. Mitchell, and my brother, my son, and so many who do work on the ground in places like New York City, even in Newark, New Jersey, where Mayor Ross Baraka has invested incredibly in grassroots organizing. You can see the difference in the community. You can see where our people are more comfortable to walk into an office and say, I need help. You can see where some of the most notorious young people are turning their lives around and getting the help and the support and the resources that they need. But that is going to come from us being able to take care of us, because we know looking to the outside, looking for other individuals to care about our communities and to invest in our communities the proper way is never going to happen. If we are waiting for someone to come and save us, they have not been here yet. They're not planning on coming. It is us for us, and it's about us. And so, my investment in Fanbase was one of the first investments that I made when I had a little bit of money from a book deal that I received. I put my money into Fanbase, and I'm proud to join other Black folks. In fact, I put my money in because Roland Martin called me on the phone one night and told me I had no choice. And I tell you, it was a good decision. I feel very good about the support for Fanbase, but I also feel good that I had the wisdom to listen to wisdom and understand that if Roland was calling me and giving me a direction, I didn't need to ask him 50 million questions. While I'm not saying that people should not understand Fanbase inside out, as you are thinking about investing, you should do that with anything. But I was able to trust the fact that Roland was going to give me the right info and he was going to put me in the right direction. So hopefully those of you who are listening, that you will believe that today, as you see so many of us who work so hard on behalf of our communities. We are invested in something that we know is going to win. I appreciate you, Isaac. I see you. I see what you're doing for the community. You are the type of person that I want to be invested in. Someone who is courageous, bold, who speaks up against all the suckers out here that's trying to play our communities. You're doing your role, your part, and really holding down your role. And we love you and appreciate you. So I'm Fanbase all the way. And I'm asking all of you who are on here tonight to go out, tell everybody. They say lottie dottie and everybody in your family to invest $600 in Fanbase by going to startengine.com/Fanbase.
Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I sure did.
Awesome.
You did.
Roland a bully in investment, won't he?
Well, I mean, but look, the reason, one of the reasons I did that is like Tamika's out there on the front lines. And listen, ain't no 401k plan in civil rights work.
That's
Reverend
Right.
right.
Jackson always says that. And so here was an opportunity to support a black owned tech company, allow an investment to build and grow. And so then all of a sudden, if this thing takes off like we want it to, like it should, all of a sudden you get a return on that. And so again, this is how wealth is being created. And unfortunately, in all these cases, we do not have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor, a lot of these investments, and this opportunity allowed us to do so.
100%. I thank you.
Thank I love
Tamika.
y'all.
Appreciate it, Tamika.
I'm not gonna buy out the bar, but it sounded good at the time because I was trying to do a little play off of Jamal. But I ain't buying out the bar. I'm on a 2-drink minimum and back home in the bed. I love y'all.
See, this is why for me, by not drinking, I don't spend no money on alcohol.
Right.
We know.
Water.
We know. You tell us that all the time. And you don't
You got
need alcohol ever.
all right, Tamika, appreciate it. Good to see you, darling.
Um,
Folks, go
we
ahead,
got
Isaac.
next. Go Candy.
Hey friends, what's up? It's your girl Candy. A lot of y'all know me from a lot of different media platforms, but most of y'all know I'm about my business. Let's just get straight to it. And with that being said, over the years, I made a lot of investments. I've invested into a lot of different things, but I would have to say there's not been many times that I've had the opportunity to invest into a company that has the potential to be $1 billion company one day early on. How many times have we heard people say stuff like, oh, if you would have invested in Apple back in, I don't know, back in the 90s or the 80s, you would have $100 million right now. I'm just making up numbers, okay? I'm just saying, but y'all know what I'm talking about. How many times have we heard that? And we always say, dang, I wish I would have had that opportunity. Okay, with that being said, I am an investor in Fanbase. I got in early, and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I did. I do think that this company is on to something. I feel like we all know social media is huge, and we all seen different apps blow up crazy, right? And but I have to say, with those apps, I didn't have the opportunity to invest early. And with Fanbase, the opportunity is there. I encourage you to get more information. Find out more about Fanbase. I'm just saying.
We got Kimberly Blackwell rolling.
Kimberly Blackwell, what's happening?
Kimberly,
Hey, how y'all doing?
what's good?
Good.
I'm glad to be here. Just want to say thank you for having me, Isaac. I was an early fan base investor, came in 2021. For me, I was glad that it was mentioned, Roland, and how you talked about Tamika. I started my business right out of college 25 years ago. So I kind of knew that I wasn't going to have the ivory tower 30-year vested fund waiting for me at the retirement. And so I challenge the audience to think about, what is it and how is it that we are looking at financial freedom and future? And so for me, investing has always taken a priority in how I look at creating a legacy for my family and so many others, my community. I bet on a lot of founders. And what I can tell you about Isaac is that I am proud to take this investment in Fanbase. But I also encourage everyone to look at what it is and how it is that you're placing your monies and investments. And so, as Candy mentioned, go out. I'm sure that they have resources that Isaac has mentioned in the sense of understanding the business, what it is by way of growth strategies and plan. You're talking about culture. you're talking about technology. One of the things I liked about Fanbase when I was introduced was really how the monetization opportunities to build and create wealth in a way as an additional stream of revenue that we often and always all need. And I just thought it was, a very innovative and aggressive way to attack the competition. Competition is healthy. We have multiple platforms that we use, but we should also all be using and supporting Fanbase. And so for me, investing is personal. I got involved in investing very, very young. I will tell you, I've made some good ones and I've made some not so good ones. Investing is about risk, and you have to understand anything that you do, and the $600 or more, it's 25,000 people that we're asking to invest in today and, beyond. But what I would tell you is that you don't have to just do 600. And what I would also tell you is if you don't have 600, do what you can. No one should be doing anything that if you can't afford to lose it, think twice about it. If you can't afford to lose it. But if you can, because we know that we're using money and spending money, as they've mentioned, in the club and or anywhere else, and a lot of nice accessories. But why not take an opportunity to get into something at, what I don't even want to say startup, because now we have a history of performance. The business is still here. So we know that Isaac and team are doing some of the right things in the sense of where and how they've expanded their product offerings from the initial set. And I'm actually just proud to be a part of the tribe. I think we have to understand too that other communities are so good at supporting one another. So why wouldn't I, when he called me, and I do, thank you, Lord, have, why wouldn't I put money into supporting another business that I believe in, another founder that I believe in, to do the right thing? And what I will tell you is that I sit in a lot of investment communities where folks talk about the deals that have been mentioned, where they put in less than 5,000 up to 25,000. And as was mentioned, they are wealthy individuals. We have an opportunity to do the same. And I encourage you all to go out, look at Start Engine /Fanbase. If you have questions, Isaac, I do encourage you, because if there are a lot of questions in there, we do need to make sure we're directing them to where they can have it and feel good about it and inform, because I know you've already done the work. And then, let's take this ride together, because Lord knows that I am hoping that this is the one that allows me to cash out.
We gonna cash you out. You getting cashed out. You getting cashed out. This is a community effort. Look, man, if we don't own infrastructure, I think I say, look, man, and this is a conversation that I have all the time. I went through a list of Black-owned inventions, and it just broke my heart that we invented ice cream and we're not Breyers. We invented the alarm system and we're not ADT and Brinks. It's just, at some point, we have to stop and build the infrastructure. If we're not, we're just going to be assisting our culture through somebody else's infrastructure. And that infrastructure is going to be $1 billion trillion asset that creates generational wealth for a bunch of other people that are not us. And it's just, it's time to do that. And if we don't, we do ourselves a disservice. And really, capital is really what separates, all of it. It's hard to get capital. Like equity crowdfunding is really what is the godsend for us to be able to do this. But it's the win is that we all own this company together. Everybody's a shareholder in Fanbase, and by using the platform, you continue to make it grow, and it makes it extremely possible to do that. So I tell everybody,
man, listen, we created scratching in hip hop, and we don't own the turntable company.
There you go.
Again, that's what happens, and I need everybody to understand why we have been on this live. This story just came across. OpenAI, okay, the company.
Mm-hmm.
They have raised $6.5 billion in their latest raise. Now, mind you, the entire U.S. venture capital market is $150 billion. They raised 6.5 billion. So the reason I'm saying that, folks, they raised 6.5 billion. That means that they value that company at $150 billion. $150 billion. Folks, I'm telling y'all, black people, this is a fact.
Hey,
We
Roland, and I need to say this too, because I do believe in folks understanding what they're investing in, but I will also tell you the game. Because
hold on. We're getting a lot of feedback with your mic. So Isaac, let's mute our mic. So hopefully that fixes the problem. Go ahead.
The only thing I was going to add to that is that oftentimes I get calls on companies I know nothing about. But what the call is, hey, Kim, we have an opportunity, put you on the cap table. Here's what we need from you. Because of where it's coming from, whether it's OpenAI, whether it's NVIDIA, all of them, if you got in early, you just go for the ride. You just go for the ride. And that's what happens with OpenAI. And what you also know is that, again, through technology and what we know is happening with how folks are using generative AI and all sorts, that is the future. And here we go back to the main stage and common denominator of tech.
Well, to that particular point there, Joteka Edie, many of us saw her last night on the Oprah Kamala Harris deal, Win with Black Women, started that 4 years ago. Joteka used to work for the NAACP. She leaves the NAACP, goes to Silicon Valley.
That's right.
Joteka got into all types of deals. And Bob Johnson always said this. He said, you have to be in the deal flow. In the deal flow. She got put into deals by virtue of the relationships that she actually built. That's how you build wealth. And again, so what this is opportunity. And let me say this to every black person, or even non-black people. Black people, we are America's tastemakers in everything: music, fashion, culture, you name it. When it comes to technology, the data shows it. Black people over-index in iPads and pads. We over-index. Black people, we were foregoing landlines. We were over-indexing on cell phones. We are early adopters of all social media platforms. Folks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vine. Our creativity drove the development of all these platforms. So what we're saying right here is, why in the hell are we going to keep making non-black people, and listen, anybody can invest, whether you're black or white, but the point is this here. Why are we going to keep making non-black people rich as hell with our ingenuity, our culture, our dancing, our singing? How about we actually do that for ourselves? That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Kimberly.
All right, let's go. Start engine / Fanbase.
All right, next up we got Ryan Wilson. Ryan, where you at?
What's up?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How are you, man?
I'm good.
We're getting, I don't know what's going on. We're getting a lot of feedback. I'm not sure why that's the case. Keenan, I'm not quite sure, but just be aware of that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you good?
I'm good. I can hear you okay.
All right, cool.
That sound all right?
Yeah, man. I mean, well, I first want to say to everybody out here watching that Fanbase would not exist without Ryan Wilson in the gathering spot. I say that all the time. He built a community, a membership community for black people to come together. And some of those first conversations that I had about tech were some members of the gathering spot, one which will be joining us later. I think Barry's around here. I see Barry backstage. We're going to talk to Barry in a minute. And I really bothered Barry, Jewel, and Justin about tech, and they were happy enough to do that. But I'm thankful that Ryan created a community, and he's big about community. And it's really one of the reasons why Fanbase does exist. So I thank you for that, Ryan. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you. You're a Fanbase investor. You were always talking about this. We got some things we're going to work on with Fanbase and in the audio space coming real soon. So, but I'll let you take the floor and share your thoughts.
Well, first, man, all love. I was very humbling, right? Is to be able to hear stories like that. That's what TGS is here for, right? We have to be supportive of one another. And I think what tonight is about is that sort of support, right? We've got to come together. I listened to the last couple of conversations, and look, I do think it's important that we understand about any business that you're going to invest in, right? It's important to try to understand the fundamentals and what the upside is, right? But there's also something else that we should just be considering, and that's just being just like plainly supportive of an effort that's happening. We're not asking in this case for everyone's life savings, right? We're asking for folks to participate in trying to build continued momentum with something that we, to Roland's last point, something that we know that we can control, right? So I'm proud to be a part of the effort. Yes, because the upside is something that's interesting to me, right? But I'm even more proud, right? Because I love to watch a company start and continue to scale, and like there's return on my investment just for being able to participate in that part of the process. So I encourage folks, look, we are not in enough deals, but when there's a deal inside of our community with people that are doing good work, that have the same values that we have in terms of like what business can be about, we've got to step up to the plate and make sure that we're doing our part. So again, I'm happy to be here tonight, but I'm excited for where this is going collectively. We have the opportunity here in ways that we don't have with a lot of companies to really influence the future of this company. Yes, with our dollars, but also just with our participation. And that's huge. So all in all, startengine.com/fanbase. And you got someone that'll be a supporter for the entire run here, because it's genuinely an honor to be able to participate in any way in a company.
Man, thank you for that. I appreciate you. We gotta continue to build and work and build our businesses, but especially in tech, people don't understand, like, we all have the ability to increase the value of a tech startup that we own. A lot of people didn't get to own tech startups. I'm like, man, we need to own these bad boys. You know what I'm saying? And run it up, man. I mean, these companies are $1 trillion companies. And honestly, when I talk to the creators of when I talk to the creators that use these platforms, I don't care what color they are. They really say these platforms don't even treat them well. They don't listen to them. They don't listen to what they want to do. We're in the middle of building a platform. We're building RTMP streaming for gamers so they can have Twitch, right? We're building new functionality in the audio. We're building
For me, I need RTMP to stream Roland Unfiltered on Fanbase.
We're streaming on Fanbase right now, though. We're on Fanbase right now. We're streaming live on Fanbase right now. I don't know how Ramiro did it. I don't know how the team does it.
But honestly, I think to that point, right? But like, we need to hold Fanbase and you to the same standard that we hold other things to, which is to say that we blow things up all the time and aren't participating in them in any way, right? So again, like, it's important to talk about the upside and the opportunity that exists here, but it also is just important for us to say, look, being able to be engaged is a thing, right? Like that there is return. There's something valuable in that engagement. And frankly, we do that all the time in other contexts. We get very, very, very passionate about making sure that the world knows about the things that we care about. We should keep that same energy here, right? Like, again, you'll make some money, yes, right? But before then, this is going to be a beautiful journey. And that is something that, again, I think we've got to continue to highlight.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I know we'll be able to do that. The Gathering Spot is a large community. We got some stuff that we're going to do in audio I'm excited about. I thank you for being here, Ryan, as always. I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. Be well. And everybody, startengine.com/fanbase. And you will see us at the Gathering Spot, especially with all the events that we do. We're doing thousands of events a year. We're going to make sure that we do even more work with Fanbase as these experiences are happening.
Just correct it. startengine.com/fanbase.
/Fanbase. I appreciate you, Roland. Sorry.
It's good.
I'm old
I
school,
got you.
Roland. That's almost a reflex.
I understand. Hey, we got about 4 minutes left, y'all, in the Invest-A-athon. Pinky Cole was on.
Roland, we got a little bit more than that.
No, hold on. Pinky Cole. Well, you told me 8 to 10. Pinky Cole was on. Let's get Pinky back. But my frat brother Hill Harper is with us. Hill.
Hey everybody. Hey, listen. It is wonderful to be on and listen. I am an investor, a very, very, very early investor in Fanbase, proudly so. And I encourage everyone to join me. join me in investing in this company. I've invested in many companies. Some have worked well and the investments were great. Some have not. That's the nature of investing. But this is a unique opportunity. And there's an opportunity cost to not investing. And think about this. We have to own our own base technology companies. And remember, technology companies evolve over time. They are living organisms. None of the companies that are billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies, unicorns, are the same company that they started out being. They were funded over time so they could continue to adapt as new technology introduced itself. That's why it's critical that we invest here. I know we have a limited amount of time. That's why I wanted to cut straight to the point and say, listen, any amount of investment matters. And this is critical. And I'm also going to say this because, Isaac, I was waiting to say this here. I am going to launch my Hill Harper fan base page, account, whatever we want to call it. I'm launching it as of this next week coming, so that not only will I be an investor behind the scenes, I'll be an active participant and hoping to draw actual people and eyeballs to the platform. And so that's how we support each other. Remember, Dr. King said, we're all tied together in a single garment of mutual destiny. We got to stop operating in silos in our community. We have to partner collectively. Ryan said it. Other people have said it. This is about collective participation, because when all people are collectively participating, it makes the tide rise for everybody. And that's critical. Too much in our community, we've learned to operate in silos. Get out of that mentality. The opposition operates collectively. They don't have to agree They don't have to agree with each other. And I'll finish with this. In our community, it seems we got to agree. You disagree on one thing, you agree on 9. It's like, I can't work with that. The opposition, they can disagree on 9 things, agree on 1. They storm the Capitol together. Come on, y'all. We got to support each other. Let's go.
Absolutely. And in fact, Hill talked about the collective. If you go back and listen to or read Dr. King's final speech, April 3rd, 1968, in Mason Temple, he said, Black people, individually, we are poor. He said, yet collectively, we represent one of the largest economies in the world.
That's right.
He said, in order for us to move, we have to move as a collective. So when Isaac talked about off the top, if 25,000 people contribute, invest $600, that raises to $15 million. Now, you don't have $600, you do less. I am a living example of what happened when Black folks operate as a collective. We probably had about 31,000 people contribute to Roland Martin Unfiltered in the 6 years. They contribute more than $2.5 million. That's how we're still here. We've been able to build this network because there are people who say, Roland, I can't send 50. They said, I got 25. Your 25 is just as important. 10, 5. I had an elderly Black woman in the airport in Atlanta. She said, all I have is $1. And I said, baby, your dollar is just as important. We took a photo, I posted on social media. But that's what we're talking about here. But what we're talking about is creating. Here's what I'm tired of. And I was at CBCF last week. I'm tired of us having wealth creation conversations. We have to have wealth creation engines. You're not going to create wealth by attending panels about creating wealth. In fact, the only people who are actually making money off of that are the folks who you're paying a registration fee to. That's who's actually building wealth. So this is Fanbase, y'all, is a social media company, but it is a wealth creation vehicle. And that's how we have to think about it. So now if you're watching or listening, I want you to now say, okay, how many wealth creation vehicles do I have an opportunity to actually participate in? That's what this is. And again, it's a risk. There's no guarantee of anything. But here's what I do know. If you spend $600 on a jacket and you gain weight, your ass may not be able to wear that $600 jacket. And so it's going to sit in your closet or you're going to give it away. I'm just being straight up. Right. I got some stuff in my closet I can't fit. So if I want to wear that stuff, my ass gonna lose some.
Send it to me.
My ass gonna lose some weight. Well, I'm taller than you, so that's not gonna work. So that ain't gonna work.
Don't get on here. Hey, don't get on here and lie, Roland. Come on.
Hill. Oh my God. Don't make me post a photo on Fanbase, Hill. Don't make me do it, Hill.
Post a photo.
I don't want to hurt your frat.
We try more people there.
All I'm saying, folks, is this is a wealth creation vehicle. And I'm telling you, Isaac knows this. Hill knows this. I know this. White boys and white women all across the country, they are in deals like this in order for them to be able to invest small amounts of money, have a big payoff in 3, 5, 8, 10 years, and they can sit back and chill. They can sit back and chill, and they ain't going to a 9 to 5. So that's all we're trying to say here, why your participation is important. So Hill, Harper, we appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you so very much.
Love you both. Keep up the good work.
Love you, frat. So folks, here's the deal. I'm about to jump off. I got to go pack. I have to fly to Atlanta tomorrow. I'm being inducted to the National Black Radio Hall of Fame. So I got to pack.
Congratulations.
I got an early morning flight. I appreciate it. Got an early morning flight. So I'm going to leave you with this. And y'all, this is very basic. This is very basic. Go to startagent.com/fanbase. The information is there for you to read. Everything is there. All the information is there. And I'm telling you, y'all, I want y'all to understand, I get technology. I'm 55 years old. I'm 56 in November. I think I am. Yeah, I'm 56. My brother's 57. I'm 56 on November 14th. He's 57 on November 13th. Okay. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, I don't call it X, Tumblr, Instagram, Fanbase, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, Threads, Spoutable, Spill. That's 11 social media platforms. Of the 11 social media platforms that I am on, I do not own any equity in 10 of them. Let me say it again. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Tumblr, Threads, Spill, Spoutable. Those are the 10. The 11th is Fanbase. Those are the 11 social platforms. And I might be missing some. I'm on Flickr, 12. Got photos over there. I only have equity in one, which means out of all the social media platforms, somebody said too many platforms. No, it's not. But I'll throw in YouTube, 13. Out of the 13 platforms, the only one that I have equity in is Fanbase. Because Isaac has taken advantage of the crowd fund regulation that was signed into law under President Barack Obama that allows regular, ordinary people and not institutional investors to be able to get in. So Black people, when you make the investment, it's not a question of just, man, I'm gonna cash out in a year. You literally are creating economic value for your children's children. I don't have any biological children, but I raised 6 of my nieces. I'm creating economic value for me, for my family. That's how we have to be thinking. Last point. We have got, as Black people, we have got to stop talking about Black Wall Street in the past. Oh man, we built Black Wall Street. No, you did not build Black Wall Street. They built Black Wall Street. What you should be thinking about today is, how do I build Black Wall Street in 2024? So 50 years from now, a little Black kid, a little Black girl, a little Black boy, that's going to Black History Month program, they're going to be talking about, oh, there were a group of people in 2024 who decided to do Black Wall Street in the 21st century, and they invested in a platform, a social media platform
that then blew up and was worth billions, and they're going to be talking about you, as opposed to 50 years from now, we're still talking about Black Wall Street from the 1920s. You got to make a decision today. Do you want to be remembered 50 years from now as creating the new Black Wall Street? Or do you want 50 years from now, they never bring up your name because you bypass an opportunity to participate in Black Wall Street 2024? Isaac, I'm done.
Thank you. But you ended your segment amazing. Appreciate you, Roland. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Roland, I told Roland I'm gonna buy my Phantom one day. I don't know when we get to the billions. Roland's getting the Phantom. Up next, we got Barry Givens. Where you at? Barry Givens in the building. Barry Givens to the front. There he is.
Yo. You hear me all right?
Barry Givens is one of my tech senseis. Shout out to Barry. So Barry's another one of the reasons that Fanbase exists. I annoyed him for quite some time. Him and his partners, Jewel Burks and Justin Dawkins. I bugged them every day to learn about tech, but Fanbase would not exist without Barry Givens and Justin and Jewel, because they gave me the information and the tools to really build this company from understanding the space of tech. So I appreciate you for that. I know you have your perspectives. You are out in this world. You are a VC, basically. Like you're out there giving money to the
not basically. That's kind of what I do for a living. So
yeah.
So yes, I'm a professional investor. So I run Collab Capital. Very relevant to this conversation because Collab Capital will, by the end of this year, will have a little over $125, $130 million under management. And we only invest in companies that are building innovative, huge solutions to big problems that have at least one Black founder on the team. I'm going to get into why that's really, really important, but we've heard a lot from a lot of different people, and I just want to echo the importance of community, the importance of us just investing, not just in Fanbase, but you definitely should invest in Fanbase, but just investing in general and building generational wealth. I want to approach this a little bit from an education perspective and kind of how I approach.
As posting on social media, you can just take your creative, select the audiences that you want.
Some feedback. Okay, there we go. I want to approach this of how to make investments, right? So when I'm making investments, the first thing I'm looking at is the team. And Isaac and Ramiro have been killing it from the day that Isaac started this. From the time he brought Ramiro on the team, they've just been releasing product, releasing features. There's no doubt that they are building a good foundation to a company. And so typically as an investor, that's the first place that I'm going to start, is looking at the team and making that decision and checking that box. The second thing is the market. I'm not going to go deep into social media. Everybody uses it. It's for everybody, not just Black people. We want to bring everybody over to Fanbase. Then business models. And this is what really got me with Fanbase when Isaac first pitched it to me, is that I just envision a company like Nike coming on the Fanbase, building up their followers, getting the loves, getting the likes, actually making money while on the platform, and only releasing sneakers to people who follow their page, right? Like those types of opportunities. Marvel, when they're voting on who's the next movie they're going to release, which character are they going to make the next TV show on Disney for? You can do all that type of stuff on Fanbase while they're producing revenue, and while they're producing revenue, Fanbase is producing revenue. While Fanbase is producing revenue, me as an investor, I'm making money. So from a business model perspective, I just loved what the team was building. Thought it had a lot of legs to it. And so that's why I continued to push Isaac and work with Isaac to make sure that this became a reality. But the most important thing that I typically look for in an investment is, how can I help that investment grow? And this is the truly special part about Fanbase. We all can literally help build our own wealth, right? We can help bring people to the platform, post content on the platform. We can do all of these things. If you are a creator and you're not on Fanbase, you're literally doing yourself a disservice. You can invest in a platform that you can then pull your content into, create new content, build up your following, make a living off of that following. And while you're making your day-to-day living off of that following, you own stock in a company that your wealth is being created on the back end. And so that's kind of my spiel on, just from a professional investor perspective, how I look at companies. But here's what I want to say, Isaac. And I don't think anyone has said this before, because I think it's kind of it's a thing in our community where sometimes we really struggle with helping other Black people win. And I'll get back to why I do what I do for a living. My entire success right now, what I do, is built off of making other Black people rich. As an investor, if I go make someone a billionaire through the work that I do every day, I'm going to make some money, but they're going to be billionaires, right? Like, they are the founders of the company. And that's what I love about Fanbase, right? And we're looking at ourselves creating billionaires like Elon Musk. Excuse me if anybody has the truck, but it's ugly. And we're still going out and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars while this dude is openly on his platform doing all the racist things and giving tens of millions of dollars to people that we may or may not support. I do not, but I don't know what everybody's affiliations are. That's what wealth brings. And so we have to make sure that we get out of our own way and help make the right people wealthy. And so through this, hopefully we make Isaac extremely wealthy. Like, I want Isaac to be sitting on billions and billions and billions of dollars, and I'll be happy with a couple million, right? And we have to change our mentality as Black people to be okay with other Black people winning more than we're winning on the same play, right? And so that's why I love what I do every day. That's why I love being an investor in Fanbase. And that's why I hope that you all invest in Fanbase. If it's something that's too risky for you, if it's something that you can't do financially, I always tell people, don't stress yourself out over an investment if it's going to mess you up at home. Like, don't do that, but you can invest in other ways. You can share the platform. You can get on the platform. But in all seriousness, it's $600. It's $600 minimum, right? If you can do more, do more. But let's all make Isaac really, really, really rich, so that when we do have the next election, when we do have the next thing, the next scholarship that we need for Black kids coming out of Southwest Atlanta, the next tech fund that is looking for investors so that I can invest in Black people. I need investors. I would love to make Isaac rich so that he can actually invest in my fund, right? This is how money works. And we have to make sure we have more uber rich Black people that have the same values that we do, that believe in the same things we do, so it makes conversations like this easier. And I'll stop there. I know we're already late on time, but love what you're doing, Isaac. I want you to continue. I know that the path gets hard as a founder sometimes, but yeah, just kudos to you, kudos to the team. And as you know, I'm always here to support, always here to show love. And so whatever you need, I got your back. But peace.
My God, thank you. I got a word for that. You know, I got a word that I call. Well, you know that word I call, or word I use that we need.
I was trying to be
You know what?
Just in case you want to post this later, I didn't want to go that far.
It's all good. It's cool. I mean, we on the Black Star Network, but I want to keep it. You know, I want to keep it cool. But appreciate you for stopping by. Like I said, the fact that I can talk to you almost every day now, because we're around each other a lot more.
Same office.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So thank you for stopping by tonight and coming to Invest-A-athon. I thank you so much.
All right, bet startupengine.com/fanbase. Y'all check.
Start Engine. You said start up.
Start Engine. Man, look, it's late. And just like startengine.com.
Same week. So I already know.
Yeah, but it don't matter. I shouldn't have messed it up. Startengine.com/fanbase. Go join me as an investor. And I look forward to seeing y'all on the platform and at the celebration when we all on Isaac Yacht.
All right, my guy. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Don Cannon, where you at? Where my guy Don Cannon at? Where the Cannon at? Uh-oh. There he is.
Hey man, Isaac Hayes for president.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother?
Man, thank you for being here, man. I've known you for like 20 plus years.
Yes, sir.
We've grown in different ways in our businesses, and I love where you are with what you're doing with Generation Now. For people that don't know Don Cannon, you better know Don Cannon. He is responsible for some of hip hop's greatest hits, and also the co-founder and owner of Generation Now, a record label that has signed phenomenal talent, multi-platinum talent like Lil Uzi Vert and Jack Harlow.
Yes, sir.
They continue to build that. They are some of the best marketers I've ever seen. The content is incredible. It's amazing.
Appreciate that.
Glad to have you here. But we've been on this journey, so I want you to talk about Fanbase, your experience, investing, using, all that kind of stuff. But I'm glad to have you here, man.
I appreciate it, bro. Glad to be here. I want to start off, being real. And the first thing that I have to say is we all want each other to become the most powerful human beings we can in a positive way in the community. That way, like the last gentleman said, so we can fund other things. We don't get that chance as people. Like I started Tomorrow app, we started Generation Now. And the first thing we all coming from, me, I came from the hood, the fake ghetto is what they call it. But the hood to where I cannot get people to believe in us around us. And we need to start that by creating these platforms that'll help us get to the next level and build this talking points from me and you and get into there. So, the same thing I feel with, Start Engine is so great to have something like that where our people can invest small amounts of money. There's so many things on there that you can get into, all tech companies, there's products. I know one of the girls we went to school with, she has a beer and she's trying to start that up. So I think that platform and other platforms help us get to those points where we can give that money away. I buy Jordans maybe once a month. I buy shoes once a month. It feels good to be able to look at things and to, invest in things that will help me, like the guy said, 3, 5, 8, 10 years later, and give back to the community as well. So I see where we can run parallel as founders of companies and be those people that bring the community together to learn how to invest, build wealth, and do it for our families, friends, and, those neighboring around us. I don't know where you went.
I know you're a busy guy, so I don't want to hold you. You took quick time out to stop through, but you got to come by the office too, and we got to work on some other stuff together.
I know. I heard you move right around the corner.
You move right around the corner.
We about to make Tech Village over there now, since they want
to
move around.
Look, I'm already working my magic. I'm already pulling. Look, that's the thing. I'm already doing with this position over here. I'm already pulling other black startups in this building right now. This building is getting browner and browner every day. Like Barry, who was just on Barry, me and Barry are in the same building now. So I see Barry almost.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Yeah. So
I keep hearing it's moving too. I keep hearing people going to Austin, people going to Miami, people still going to Frisco.
Yeah.
It's dying down. Why not come to Atlanta and be a part of that?
I started rubbing my hands together because I was like, "Ooh, we got it, we got it."
We're a block away, so it's still Tech Village
for sure. All right, man. I appreciate.
Make sure you invest, man. I put some money into this guy. I want to see this guy successful, man. He's always been a stand-up guy.
You win. That's
all I'm saying.
Startups. The thing about tech startups I say all the time is these companies don't get to $30 million and 40 million, and then everybody, you put your money in. These companies get to billions and billions of dollars. These are 100x, 1000x, 2500x returns on investment. So that's why I tell people yo, you tripping.
Yeah, and it's me. I'm a little different. Like I love the passion and I love projects and things, but I actually invest in the executors. And you're an executor. So I feel like you could take that brand to the next level and you can do multiple brands to the next level. So that's where I focus really as an investor. And we don't speak to that as much. A lot of people are like, well, I don't want to, get into coffee because I'm not, I don't drink coffee. I don't do these things, but I believe in the executor. And a lot of the things I invested in were people that I know can execute. The same thing with me. If you're coming to me and say, hey, he has a new artist and I do something where I'm raising money for it, I'm gonna execute it the proper way. So those are the things that I look for as myself as an investor. But just make sure you take advantage of it. It's there, it's in front of your face. Start Engine / Fanbase. I love that platform. I love the scale. You can go there and get all the information you can from the app. I've seen a couple people in the comments talking about, well, if you raise the 17 million, what are you going to do with it? What is it for? These are questions that need to be asked, for certain people. But all the information is there. Isaac is a good talk box. He'll give you everything from top to bottom, everything you need. And I love what he's doing. The executor, Isaac Hayes III for president, future president, and and go to Fanbase on Start Engine / Fanbase, and just throw some money at it, man. It'll turn into something. I promise you.
Thank you, my guy. I appreciate you.
Always.
All right, my man.
Yep.
Up next, we got one half of Civic Cypher. Man, my man Q Ward. Q Ward has been here the whole time. Q Ward said he was enjoying the show, but I want to bring Q Ward in. This guy, there he is. What's up, man?
My brother, what's going on?
Man, thank you for being here. You guys have been supporters of what we're building over at Fanbase for quite some time. Always represent anytime you guys like, look, you need me to. Y'all put me in the magazine. I was like, yo, y'all gave me some. I was in hip hop, and I was in Hip Hop Weekly. Like, what's up? Like, you guys, that kind of support is invaluable, though, man. I think it's invaluable support. I appreciate you for doing that. All these people that are on this call, I'll say this in this Invest-A-athon. I want to express to anybody out here that's watching right now, nobody's being paid to be on here. Nobody's being paid to be here. These are people that care about what we're doing. These are people that believe in it. And it's also, there's relationships that I've been able to have 5, 10, 15, 20 years and call on these types of people because number one, I do believe in doing good business. I do believe in being transparent. I do believe in doing something for the Black community and make sure that we have an opportunity to invest. I mean, this is being streamed now on 3 YouTube channels and will be available after the stream for people to play. And that's when this thing's really going to get played, is after it's over, people going to start watching this and really, cutting it up and chopping it up and doing all this stuff with it. So I'm excited to have you here. But, I want you to tell everybody about your journey with Fanbase and why you believe in what we're doing.
Well, the biggest thing is you created an economy where we don't have to be passive investors. Ike and I go back, I call him Ike, 15 years and investing in Fanbase. I don't have to put my money into something and hope it works out. As a community, all of us investing into Fanbase, we can make our return happen. We can make it the biggest social media platform out there. Like our brothers said before, by simply participating on the platform. So when there's an economy where creators can invest, bring all of the things that we do to make Instagram popping, to make Twitter popping, to make YouTube popping, we are the engine, but the infrastructure reaps the benefit. We have now, or Ike has now created a platform where we can bring our content, bring our creativity, and bring our creations, and then explode the platform, and all of us get to participate in that explosion. So I'm looking forward to celebrating that exit. I'm gonna be in Atlanta with you. I'm gonna be in the Phantom with you, or the Cullinan, whatever you say we riding in that night, and doing all that I can to really impact anything that you're doing, because I believe in you as a person. But this idea is brilliant. The first time you told me about it, I couldn't invest yet, and I was anxious. So I've participated in every round, every raise, and I'm continue to do the same and try to tell everybody I know to join me on that mission.
Man, well, thank you. I mean, listen, I appreciate you and Ramses. You guys y'all some smart dudes, man. Y'all some real chill. Y'all fat. Y'all ain't got the magazine and a lot of stuff. But I mean, media. But here's the thing about it too. Also, you guys being in media, I think that what's important about that is people don't understand that Fanbase is disruptive. Fanbase puts the power of media in the hands of every single person. Newsflash, as soon as they put video into social media, we all became television networks, right? We all became television networks that can distribute content amongst ourselves. So even you guys have the ability, like, I want a hip hop. I think I need a hip hop weekly fan base page because, like, I it's a way to take that media and even take it into a audio visual space or audio space or even build more. And that's the things that we'll be able to do. So when I thought of the media space, I'm thinking like, man, there's so many opportunities for people because social media is just little pieces of television now. It's just we scroll, we channel surfing all day long to see who got baby oil on them, who getting locked up. But they're running ads in between all of that, just like they do on TV. But you own your own network, and so you got to monetize your network, and they're not giving you any of that ad revenue, hardly any. So you might as well start your own Netflix being yourself and get people to at least tip you for the content that you make. So
we got some great things coming up, Isaac. We just did a new partnership with iHeart. They're about to more than double our footprint. You spoke about Hip Hop Weekly. We're relaunching Hip Hop Weekly either last quarter or first quarter of next year. And we're going to use Fanbase as our launching point for all of the new programming we got. So we're producing new podcasts, relaunching the magazine, and again, doubling the footprint for Civic Cypher in a new partnership with iHeart. Fanbase will be our home base for everything that we're doing in the creative space, exclusive behind the scenes, all of our video. Like, we haven't even done anything with video yet. All of our stuff is audio. So we are going to try to help explode this platform. We're coming to spend some time with you in Atlanta, spend some time in the office, brainstorm, and come up with ways to make this a massive endeavor for everybody involved.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you for being here. This is massively important. I appreciate you guys' support. And just let me know whenever you're in the city, pull up. You've been to the office. You got to come to the new office. And people, and let me say something about the new office, because I want to express to people. Our lease was up at our old office, but I wanted to say that when I saw this community here, this is a community environment where I met a wonderful woman by the name of Natasha Parker, who built this entire office. And it's basically like a collaborative space. So just being in here, I built so many more relationships just by being in here. We were off silo, we were in the cut, and that's not really what social media is about. Social media is about being social. So you have to be seen. So we are, we have a partnership with Georgia Tech. We have HBCU partnerships. And so we're stepping out. For 2025, we're going to be a lot more visible. So I can't wait to have you at the office.
I can't wait to get back to Atlanta. Ramses is looking for a house down there as we speak, so we might end up being neighbors, bro.
Hey,
Ramses, we took Ramses to Atlanta. He's strung out now. He's ready to make a move.
Well, I mean, it's way different in Arizona. Let me tell you that. So
yes, sir.
All right, my guy. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, man, for your patience and hanging in there.
Hey, man, I asked if I could come in early because I wanted to be more than just a passive participant. I'm proud of you, brother. I love you, man. And for always, anything we can do, you got it.
Man, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, my guy. Benaja Pool, where you at? I can't hear you. Turn your mic on. Are you muted?
Yep, I'm here. Hey.
There you go. What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Glad to be here.
Man, look. So we connected at Invest Fest, and I want people to I want you to talk about what you do for a living and why that's important, because you own a black bank, and I think that that's extremely important. But the access to capital that the black community has is so limited, and it's so frustrating that VCs really, and I know some people in the VC space, but VCs don't check for black companies like that. You see what happened with the Fearless Fund, and you see what happens with like stuff like that. And then a lot of times the banks are not necessarily on your side. It's amazing to meet a woman that owns a black bank, which I think is important. And when we spoke about you coming on to the Invest-A-athon tonight, I wanted to, make sure that we made some space for you, but to talk to us about the importance of access to capital, because Start Engine is providing me an access to capital that I would never have before. This is a community funded app by people that are, and these aren't donations. I don't want people to think that you guys are this isn't a GoFundMe. And I know I support everybody raising money for Vice President Harris, but this is ownership. You are purchasing shares in this company. So I want you to speak to that though.
Yes, absolutely. So, guys, I do own a bank. I am nationwide. I also fund in 40 plus countries. And the importance of the dollar, the importance of the black dollar. So, let's face it, in modern times, a dollar circulates on average 6 hours in the black community. That, in contrast to other communities, is below the standard. So, in the Latino community, it circulates more than 6 times. In the Asian community, it circulates more than 9 times. That's equivalent to 20 days. In the white community, it's unlimited number of circulation. So this disparity of circulation highlights a deep-rooted economic disparity. So money circulation is important in our community because it helps us circulate what leads to higher financial stability as well as economic growth. So platforms like Fanbase and other Black-owned businesses, it's imperative and important that we invest in them. I am 100% a Black-owned bank. I do not have any business partners. I'm the sole owner. Investing in companies and investing in platforms that are for us, by us, will help us build generational wealth. So I heard a lot of people talk about equity, right? So equity is the way that you put money into a pot, you let it sit, and it grows. Ultimately, once it grows, you can pull the capital out and access it. Hopefully your equity grows to something, phenomenal. But when you're investing, of course, as everyone said, it's a risk. You don't know what it's going to grow to unless more people invest in it. The Black spending dollar right now, the power that we have in our abilities is almost surpassing 1.7. It's supposed to be about $1.8 trillion at this point. So with that being said, we have money in our community. We know how to spend money. We just have to be able to spend it on the right things. According to the Census Bureau, guys, 1 in every 5 white households is $1 million household. In the Black community, 1 in 20 is $1 million household. That's a big gap, right? But guess what? On the flip side of it, 1 in 4 of the Black community household is either zero in wealth or negative wealth. So it is important to invest in platforms such as this. This is a technology company. Technology is only getting better. It's growing. It's not going anywhere. If you're going to put your money towards something, you have to realize that investing is a long game. Okay, you can't put your money in there and expect it to turn profit in 24 seconds. You got to leave it in there for it to grow. But guess what? If you put it into places like this, Fanbase, then you'll definitely grow a profit because, let's face it, it's been around for a couple years. I joined Fanbase in 2020, and I've been a member ever since. And I'm also an investor. So go to startengine.com/fanbase, startengine.com/fanbase, and invest. Look, it's only $3.99. Put in your $600. Let it sit, let it work for you, and gain your profit later.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks for being here. I'm so gracious for you to be here in your wealth of knowledge and what you're doing, and glad to have you as an investor in Fanbase, and we'll continue to build. Look, I might be knocking on the look. Y'all, banks got money. We're gonna have to have that talk too. So
absolutely. And look, you guys, if you guys have businesses, or homes that you own, don't be afraid to pull equity out of there if you want to, invest in other things that you're sitting on the golden ticket. After the big economic boom in 2020, COVID, we're all sitting on equity if you purchased a home during that time. So don't be afraid to tap into a little of your equity, pull out some capital, and invest in some of these businesses so you can turn profit.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank
you so much. All right, we are back at the Invest-A-athon, Fanbase Invest-A-athon. All right, I'm about to pull in the big dog right now. I had an opportunity to speak at the 100 Black Men of America conference in Atlanta over the summer, and I saw Mr. Milton Jones speak. I got an opportunity. I got connected with him, and I want to bring in the chairman of the 100 Black Men of America, Mr. Milton Jones. Milton Jones.
How you doing, brother?
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Listen, I've been listening and feeling excited about the notion of our investing in ourselves, because all too often we invest in others, but not in ourselves. We create for others, but not for ourselves. And so when I look at the messages that we give to the young people that we work with, and we talk about what you see is what you'll be, which is what we really mean. And we think about our 4 pillars of mentoring, economic empowerment, health and wellness, and education, that particularly in areas of economic empowerment, the best way for us to empower ourselves is to invest in ourselves. And what you're building with Fanbase, if we're making the owners of Facebook famous and rich, if we're making the owners of so many other, tech stocks famous and rich, then we need to make sure that we're taking advantage of it here. I've invested in stocks for more than 35 years, not as a stockbroker, but as a person just trying to be a little frugal and making a little more than a savings account might generate. And I didn't invest in 1990 in Apple, but if I had, it would have cost me 31 cents a share. And yesterday it was worth over $220 a share. 31 cents, 220. That's how it works if you wait and hold long enough in a well-run company. Sometimes stock goes down, but many times it goes up. And frankly, with the kind of content that you're talking about producing here and the strength of the platform you're building, it really, I think, looks like a great, opportunity for us to take a look at and help others see. I've taken a look at it. I'm going, I was in the process of investing when you called on me, but I'm going to get that done tonight. And I believe whether it does something great for me, I got children and grandchildren. And, I think it's been said that one should take care of one's children and their children's children. And so as such, everything's not a quick hit gain, but the long-term gain can be great. And I know there are members of the 100 that are on the call. We reached out to some of the brothers and asked them to join. And I'm excited about the possibilities that exist here. And just glad that you're stepping up the way you are, Isaac, and so many others that I've heard tonight. Jamal Bryant, very inspiring, who's chair of our interfaith committee for the 100, that his messaging, was very, very impactful, and so many others, that we've got to make sure that we have our eyes open and don't say, how we miss this, how do we miss that? Well, if you don't eventually stop at the bus stop and get on, you're not going to ever ride on the bus. And so I think that, and then you go from that to riding on other things. So I just think that we've got to make sure that we, take a look, don't invest more than you have. I think, as you said, at $600 per investor, you reach a huge number. If you look at 25,000 people, and I think it was Kim who said everybody may not be able to do, $600. So do $300, $399, do less, do whatever matters, but don't stop there. You can always come back next month or month after next. And so there are many ways to build an investment portfolio, and it's not all built at one lump and one bite. It's built over time through steady investing, through dollar cost averaging, which, if the price continues to rise, it'll be a little more next month, but you did buy some this month. And then but what you bought this month rises next month. And so if you look at that kind of approach and you're patient, then, and there'll be questions about that when you go to enroll. Are you looking for overnight success, or are you looking for the long term, a 7-year plus kind of range? So those are questions you got to ask yourself. But I think when you do, you'll find that what Isaac and this group is doing is going to make a huge difference, not just, in the short run, but in the long run, and for, our people to have a platform that is run by our people. So Isaac, again, thank you for what you're doing, and thanks for what you did at our conference. It was great to have you there, and we look forward to having you again.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you. I know you're going to be an investor. We talked about that. How many members does 100 Black in America have?
5,000.
Look at that. That's a quarter of what we need. We got 5,000 to invest 600. We in there.
Well, we're gonna get the links spread around.
So, okay, for sure. Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Back soon. All right, my guy.
See ya.
Man, that's awesome. Milton Jones, we'll be right back with Fanbase Invest-A-athon in just a moment.
What's up, y'all? Look, Fanbase is more than a platform. It's a movement to empower creators, offering a unique opportunity for everyday people to invest in Black-owned tech, infrastructure, and help shape the future of social media. Investing in technology is essential for creating long-term wealth and influence in the digital age. The Black community must not only consume tech, we must own it.
Discover how equity crowdfunding can serve as a powerful tool for funding Black businesses, allowing entrepreneurs to raise capital directly through their community through the Jobs Act.
Hey guys, Erica Jane from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and some other projects. And I'm here to talk to you today about Fanbase. And you're probably thinking like, why is she here? Well, I remember when my friend Isaac Hayes called me a few years ago and he's like, Erica, I'm starting this new tech company, this great new app, get in on the ground floor. This is your chance to get in on the ground floor. Fanbase. This is the chance for you to own a piece of tech. And you know, that's where all the money's made, early. So my advice to you, check out Fanbase. And Ike, I'm really proud of you.
Awesome sauce. So I wanted to talk about actually the Jobs Act is something that we talked about specifically. I want to go right into that. People kind of don't know what the Jobs Act is. So equity crowdfunding came from this law passed by Barack Obama and Joe Biden in 2012 that made it possible for anybody to invest in an early stage company. Before this, so all the people that invested in Apple, Google, Microsoft, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter were already rich people. So we never got the phone calls. We never got the phone calls to do that. So the Jobs Act and equity crowdfunding has offered the opportunity for us to be able to take our dollars and put them inside small businesses or startups that we've never had an opportunity to do so for, which is why in the space of tech, that's incredibly powerful, because in social media, we are the ones that have the power to increase the value of the app by using and owning it. So when you get 10 or 15 of your friends using the app and then investing in the app, do that. So here's a video that I want you guys to see about the Jobs Act, and then I'll be right back with Charlamagne and we'll close this out.
Back in 2012, in an effort to create jobs, Congress passed an important bill. Officially, it was called the House of Representatives Bill, H.R. 3606, but nowadays it's known as the Jobs Act. Simply put, the Jobs Act makes it easier for promising new businesses to raise capital from investors like you. Once these businesses have capital, they can start hiring. Now, this is a pretty historic change. You see, for the past 83 years, since 1933 to be exact, only wealthy investors were allowed to invest in these private business ventures. These wealthy investors are known as accredited investors. An accredited investor has a net worth of at least $1 million or earns at least $200,000 per year. But the Jobs Act will allow all investors to invest in early stage startup companies, regardless of their income or their net worth. As the Wall Street Journal wrote, if all goes well, small companies can raise cash relatively cheaply, while investors get a stake in an innovative business with limited downside risk.
Check it out. We are back at Invest-A-athon for Fanbase. All right, this is the most special guest of the evening. I had his name on the top of the list that I wanted to come and talk about Invest-A-athon and investing in Fanbase. Charlamagne the Guy, what's up, man? How you doing?
Isaac, what's up, my brother? How are you, man?
I am doing excellent, man. Thank you for coming. You are the most popular voice in Black media. I heard somebody tell me that about you. Like, your voice is like, you are the guy, So
I don't even think about stuff like that. I praise God for whatever position he got me in, but I don't even get caught up in all of that.
I understand, but I think, you can speak truth to media because you've been in the business so long. And so when it comes to Fanbase, I think, I reached out to you, you invested, but I really want you to speak to social media and Black culture and where we are right now, because you've mentioned it a lot, like some of these creators, why are we not owning these platforms? So I kind of want you to go and talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, number one, I think, at this point, Black people, we have to know that we control the cool. But what does that even really mean? Being in control of cool don't mean anything. Like, that's a saying that I've heard a lot of people say, over and over, and it's true. But, our kids aren't going to be able to, I can't pass cool on to my kids. Like it don't mean anything. It's not like any real generational wealth. It's not any real capital. It's not a real, resource. It's not a real asset just to say, hey, we control the cool. Like, no, we need to actually be controlling, a lot of these platforms. And it's funny to me when I see us even put labels on things, right? When you label something Black Twitter and we brag about how we make so many of these social media platforms pop off, what you should be really saying to yourself is, man, you're making so many people rich. You're making so many people, billionaires. While you control the cool, you're creating, you're controlling the cool and making these other platforms cool, but you're creating generational wealth. For people who don't look like you. And that's just the reality of the situation. And I think that, a lot of times we have to just get into the mode of believing in ourselves. When you first started talking to us about, Fanbase, Isaac, I thought it was such a good play to at least try. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say it. Why can't it work? Why can't, Isaac Hayes III create a social media platform that's just as popular as Twitter, that's just as popular as Instagram, that's just as popular as TikTok? Why not? You got the wherewithal to do it. You got the intelligence to do it. We're continuing to build the resources and get the resources to do it. So it's just like, why not just try it? All of the I've been alive 46 years. I've watched like 8 or 9 social media platforms take off. It was MySpace, it was Facebook, it's been Twitter, it's been Instagram, it's been TikTok, it's been Snapchat. I watch us, go on platforms like Clubhouse, and it's just like YouTube. Like all of these platforms are filled with so many amazing Black creators, filled with so many amazing Black content, and we brag about making these things pop, but it's not popping for us, really.
Yeah,
right? It's just like, why not give Fanbase a try?
Something that I notice is that all these institutions of entertainment are infrastructures that are not owned by us. So, NFL, NBA, TV, film, and social media. And so the companies, the apps that you're talking about were really funded by seed investors and a small group of people. Now, the difference between us and them is capital, which is why we're here tonight. Capital is really the big difference maker in this. And so investing in Fanbase gives us the capital to actually compete on a level that these platforms operate on, and we're able to scale to the next level and raise more capital. So that's the process, and people don't understand how important that is. And I know you can talk about that.
Man, we need 25,000 people to invest $600 right now. We good. We can go home. Right. You can go to startengine.com/fanbase right now. But you're right. It's all about the capital, man. It's all about the money. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bill, y'all. Like, you got to spend money to make money. You got to invest money to make money. And I mean, that is always our biggest hurdle. That is always our biggest obstacle. And that's why I tell people all the time, don't trip about where Black people are, because we're babies in this thing. And, we're really just starting to learn a lot, and we're really just starting to, get in these spaces the way that we need to. And, people like yourself, Isaac, with Fanbase, y'all the first of its kind. And, that's why it's important to make things like this work, so we have a really solid foundation to stand on. So yeah, people need to go to startengine.com right now and invest some money in the Fanbase.
Man, listen, startengine.com/fanbase. What'd you say? You said 25,000 people.
25,000 people invest $600. Fanbase, yeah, they good. We good. How long you think that'll hold us over?
Oh, we have a 3-year plan for that. That's a 3-year runway. Like, that's the thing. I've had to stop and start the raise to raise more capital when other platforms have raised $35 million and gone out of business in 18 months. And they were founded after Fanbase. Imagine that. Somebody founded a company to compete with Fanbase. They raised $35 million from VCs. It was out of business in 18 months. You know what I would do with $35 million, Charlamagne?
Damn, $35 million and they was out of business?
18 months, blew the money.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think these other apps try to buy celebrity, but they don't know how to build community. I'm big into community building, which is why I really, if you notice, you've invested for for a while, but I've never really called on celebrities to have this type of conversation, because apps are maintained by communities and not celebrities. Celebrities got to go celebrity. You're a busy man. All these people are very busy. So once you leave, your audience is going to leave and not necessarily stick around. So the purpose of Fanbase is for me to build something that people stay when you're not there, and build community. It's about building community, monetization, all those things. Free app to use. You can monetize if you want to. So I think that's the difference. People try to buy audiences, and I've seen tons of apps come and go that try to buy audience, and you can't do that. You have to build community, but to build community, you have to have capital to build the resources and build the infrastructure to expand that community. So that's what we're doing.
I think, yeah, I love that. And I think that's why people like social media, because celebrities become a part of a community. Like, I think that's why, I mean, it's a gift and a curse for celebrity, right? Because I feel like when we look at what celebrity was in the 80s, what celebrity was in the 90s, even what celebrity was in the early 2000s, to me, that was real celebrity. Like those were real celebrities. People pass out when they see those folks, right? Like, I don't think we have that anymore, but I actually think that's kind of a good thing, because celebrities become a part of a community with their consumers. And, I think that you're apt to support a so-called celebrity more if you feel like you really, really know them.
Yeah.
If you feel like, you can really engage with them anytime you want to. It's like having somebody's Twitter or DMing somebody and them DMing you back. That's like the new text message. It feels personal now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate all the support you always give me and give Fanbase. And really, you're really spreading a message even beyond Fanbase. Like, wake up, people, like, invest, own things. Pastor Bryant said that 83% of Black people have never owned a piece of stock ever. And that's crazy. And so, and the opportunity to do this with Fanbase is in the seed stage with equity crowdfunding is what's so important. So that's why I'm so passionate about this, because this is the opportunity to turn the people that put 500, 1,000, 10,000 into multimillionaires, saying 100 millionaires by putting, these amounts of capital into a company. But we have to also support and use the app and scale it up by users. So the capital and then the community together are what going to build this up. So thank you. Tell everybody again one more time where they can go.
Startengine.com/Fanbase, man. Go invest some money into our future, into our community.
Thank you, sir, my guy. I appreciate you very much.
Brother.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, my guy. Man, what can I say? Charlamagne the God. I appreciate you. So it's been like 3 hours. We're right at the end. The Invest-A-athon was supposed to be 2, but we went 3. We had so many people wanting to come in and pull up, and I appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to I want to shout out the entire Fanbase team, man. Ramiro, Ebony, Maddie, Noah, Andy, Keita, who else? John, Miku, Santi, who else? Valeria. It's so many people. I mean, this is a huge undertaking and the honor of my life to be able to build a tech startup. As I said, and I've talked to with Dr. Herring earlier today, Fanbase is committed to creating a pipeline of employment for HBCU students in our conversation that we had at the beginning of the Invest-A-athon, and also taking a portion of our revenue and doing the Fanbase Propel Scholarship to provide access to students. So this has been a great night. I think, we've raised, a couple $100,000 just here tonight. And so it's been incredible. But share this video when you're done. This lives live is here, but we want to make sure that this message lives in perpetuity beyond. Make clips, send to your friends, text them the link to these videos. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Shout out to Real Life Productions. Shout out to Roland Martin, who's always been there. Keenan is the GOAT, man, for putting this all together, man. And I thank you all. And so I want to leave you tonight with what we're about one more time. If you didn't understand what this is all about, who Fanbase is And what matters is this, and I'll say goodnight on that note. Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has a power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have a chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.